fabulous fabric from the land of the Five Rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. You already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Man, you already know what time it is. Make sure to clock in. It's a 50-50 show. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. We appreciate everybody coming through. Hey, man, it's gonna be a great show. Man, I feel like, man, it's doing these shows as time goes on, as it gets easier and easier, especially with the Raiders, man, because they always give you something to talk about.
Always,
bro. And if y'all see the thumbnail, if y'all been hiding under a rock, the Raiders recently made a trade. They traded Jakorian Bennett to the Eagles for a D tackle. Rotational D tackle, young D tackle. We'll get into that conversation a little bit. As well as, man, there's going to be a preseason game. We finally get some Raider football this Thursday. Definitely tune in. And we're probably going to be, I would think that we'll probably have a show after. Probably do a show right after. So we'll have like a real-time reaction to that preseason game. So make sure to tune into that around the Shield. And yeah, man, if you haven't already, make sure to click in. We're going live on both our channels. So if you ain't even subscribed, it's your first time joining us, make sure to subscribe to both channels. We see everybody pulling up. Daryl in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. My guy, man. Ghetto Boys Raider in the building, man. Salute. Bryn Blood says, what's good, y'all, man? Appreciate you coming through.
My rally was good.
There you go. Bill Belly says, what up? What's good? What's good, Bill? Myra in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Chill Ray in the building, man. Says, what up, y'all? What's going on? Oh, we got Mike Jones in the building. Hey,
who?
I gotta have Mike Jones.
Who?
Who?
281-330-800.
I feel like everybody remember that number.
Everybody remember that number.
That's funny, man. Salute. Shield 60 in the building, man. Appreciate you coming through. L in the building, man. My guy, man. Appreciate you coming through. I seen you at Turf show. Shout out to Turf. Oh, damn, Daryl. That's crazy. You got a power outage. Man, that's wild.
Yeah,
man.
right.
I hate power outages. I think Daryl said he's out in I believe he said he's out in Alaska, so.
Oh, dang. That's terrible out there. Especially like, I don't know what time of the year it is, but they have like certain times of the year where it's like always dark. So you have a power outage, like, but they also have certain times of the year where it's always light too. So it just depends on what time of year it is.
Yeah, I think that's more so in the winter where it's dark. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Daryl. If you're out there in Alaska, let us know. And hopefully all is well. But I might, you know what I mean? I might have to slide through. Ricky's Thursday in San Leandro. Yep, for sure. I'm gonna have to look into that, man, for sure. What? This is out your way, right? You're not in IE, but like SoCal.
Nah, yeah, that's SoCal,
yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, man. Hopefully, man, these the electricity companies get it together, man. Because I know power outages ain't the business. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I hate power outages, but who doesn't? But that kind of, it reminds you how like how much you rely on something to work. So something as simple as like the outage going out, like you don't have no Wi-Fi, you don't have no internet, you don't have no energy. So you're going to have to just literally be present. It might be a good thing. It might be a blessing in disguise. If you think about it, it might be a blessing in disguise.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Forces you to like just do something kind of like gets you out the matrix a little bit. Like you got to have to figure things out, and I'm sure it's an inconvenience. I'm just trying to be positive.
Yeah. For people that spend the time productively, but how much I mean, people just being on their phones till the motherfuckers die. Just like,
L says we were just talking about black people in Alaska on Turf Show. That's hella random, man. It don't happen all the time. It was temporary. Got the lights back on. Yeah, man, it happens from time to time, man. Depending on what area you in, it happens in the city. It happens everywhere. So I'm not. Hopefully everything's all good. That's what's up. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Training camp is obviously, we're like in the middle of training camp. Preseason's literally the first preseason game is basically here. Yeah. Raiders just made a trade. They traded Jakorian Bennett to the Eagles. They made a deal with the devil, Harry Roseman, the best GM in the game. My first reaction, I'll just start it off by saying that I didn't like it, and we kind of prepared everybody last. If you were watching last show, we talked about like the whole situation that's going on with Jakorian, because we're well into training camp and he's still getting backup reps at corner. A guy that was a locked in starter the last couple of years with the Raiders is now like the third, fourth corner on the depth chart. So like at first, people were saying, "Oh well, he needs to get back to health. He's still recovering from a surgery." Okay, but time has gone on and nothing's really changed. And I guess you start looking at like the details of everything. We talked about it. His size, the measurables, Pete Carroll, what he wants in corners. Look, you've seen what Darian Porter, the guy that he drafted. You see a DeCam Richardson who's getting more reps than Jakorian Bennett. You know, and DCAM was terrible last year. But not to say that he won't play well this year, but I'm just saying, you know, you would think that like Jakorian got like a little bit more experience. They would lean on a little bit on the experience, but they're kind of leaning on a certain type of corner that they want to play in that defense. And Jakorian it's no secret about it. Is he's like what 5'10", doesn't really have like super long arms that that Pete Carroll looks for in the corner. You know, some people brought up that he's not as physical as you would want him, so that's why you can't even put him on the inside. You can't put him at nickel. He can only be an outside corner. That being said, my first reaction to trade, I was like, man, like Howie Roseman, he's good, because this is a good pickup. Cheap, a guy like is still on his rookie deal, and has starter. He's been a starter in this league, so he has experience. So he's a plug and play. Like they can put him in that defense, which there's talent everywhere on that defense. I think I heard Cooper DeJean might be being headed to safety. Something to that effect.
He can do both. I think he'd play like that sort of role. He's like a nickel safety type player. Like he did both last year. So
yeah,
and that's what people kind of projected him coming out of college.
And did they have any injuries? I believe they made the trade because I think they had an injury to maybe a Ringo. Did Ringo get injured? One of their corners.
Keely Ringo?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That was a guy that they drafted a couple years back.
Out of Georgia. It might have been last year. Maybe last year's draft? Nah, I can't remember last year. Last year was Lassiter.
Look, yeah, it might have been last year. Or it could be a sign that, they're probably not happy with what they've been seeing from him too as well. But what it does add to the room, it adds more speed. Along with, that great pass rush, they got a corner that has the starter experience. We all know Jakorian Bennett, his strength is his coverage skills.
Yes.
Like that's like his best attribute, which is the most important attribute you would want to have as a corner. Yeah. But for the Raiders, obviously they wanted more from a physical standpoint, and obviously he wasn't as physical of a player that they wanted. Even for Patrick Graham too, as well. Like, if you seen what type of player that Patrick Graham wanted to coach at nickel. He literally was part of drafting Nate Hobbs.
Yeah.
And by the way, Nate, I don't know if did you hear about Nate Hobbs? He
got hurt.
Man.
Yeah. That's rough.
He can't catch a break. He can't catch a break. And you know what? Spytech, that was a shrewd move, man. Like and I'll be honest, I was like I was like, damn, we probably should have brought him back just because we didn't have really any options. But man, he's hurt again. The talent is not the question. He just never could stay healthy. But it just feels like Howie Roseman kind of won the deal on paper. Now, that being said, Thomas Booker is the D tackle the Raiders got. Looking into him and hearing Eagles fans talk about Thomas Booker, they actually like him. They like him as a rotational D tackle. He was just buried in that depth chart. We all know is one of the best defensive lines in football, probably the deepest defensive tackle room in football, with the Jordan Davises, Jalen Carter, Joe Milton, or Milton Williams, I believe, the tackle. I think he still plays with him, right? So if you look at it from that perspective, okay, there's a lot of talent ahead of him. And then on top of that, like, you hear the Eagles fans talk about him. They're like, oh man, he's a solid player. He's a good player. Good player against the run, has some promise. He's an undersized D tackle, but he kind of fits that Pete Carroll, Gus Bradley, who's from that Pete Carroll coaching tree type of D tackle. So it kind of makes sense. And he's 25 years old as well. So, I think it was, exactly. And another thing too, as well, that I feel like people are kind of looking over is the fact that there's some people in the Raiders building from that Eagles front office that the Raiders were able to hire this offseason. So I'm sure they're familiar with the player. Yeah. So they're familiar with Howie Roseman. They're familiar with the player. And to be honest with you, if Jakorian Bennett was going to be the fourth corner, and we talked about this last week, what are the chances are we going to get a 4th round pick, a 3rd round pick, a 5th round pick for Jakorian Bennett? Like most likely it would be a 6th, 7th round pick. And if I'm looking at it from that perspective, I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather just keep Jakorian. But if we can get a player that can possibly be useful, you know what I mean? It could be a situation where both teams win. That's the way I look at it. I mean, what was your first thoughts when you heard the trade?
First heard the trade, I thought it was a stupid move. And then, I listened. I was watching, what some of the Raider content creators were saying. I saw Baldy. I think Baldy had made a video talking about Booker, and some of the Eagles fans were saying like, hey, you know what? Hey, Booker, he's nice. He's a guy that he has some talent there. There's some potential there that could be mined, and he just never really had an opportunity to really play here. And then I was like, I took all that into consideration, and I was like, yeah, it's still a stupid move. It's the simple fact that like Jakorian Bennett, we know what Jakorian Bennett is, and when Jakorian Bennett was healthy and playing, he was one of the better corners in the league. He's a guy that gave Jamar Chase, who was by some people's accounts is the best wide receiver in all of football, gave him a tough ass time. Now there were other extenuating circumstances in that game as well, but JB was rock solid in coverage against the elite of the elite at the wide receiver position. This is already a secondary that has question marks all over the place, unproven people, oft injured people, young players, people that don't have a lot of playing time at all, and play people that have had some injuries in the past as well. And we, instead of hanging on to a guy that we know what we have, and in my opinion, he may not be a fit for Pete Carroll's system, but he's the best man-to-man corner we had on this team, and you get rid of him. And if you look at this in a vacuum, let's just say like just remove everything else. Just move all the other factors. Don't look at what Pete Carroll's done in the past. Don't look at what Spytek has done with Tampa Bay. Don't look at what Howie Roseman has done with the Eagles. Don't look at what Nick Sirianni has done with the Eagles. Just look at it like this. If Jakorian Bennett was on the trade market and Booker was on the trade market, who would fetch more? And I think the easy answer is Jakorian Bennett, right? I think that goes without saying. So we swapped, and just look how the Eagles are constructed. They're a team that is constructed in the trenches. They won their Super Bowl based on their defensive line. And what you want on the defensive line is you want depth and youth and inexpensive players that are playing above their contract. So if you got a guy that's still only 25 years old, he's this good, why would you trade him for a corner if you thought he was going to be any use to you at all? Us, on the other hand, we still need depth at corner. We just lost a corner, and everybody else on this roster is still unproven. So, and then you look at the Eagles. They just drafted Quinyon Mitchell. They drafted Cooper DeJean, but they still saw fit to, hey, you know what? Like, we still want Jakorian Bennett. I think that speaks to how highly they regard Jakorian Bennett, where they still have two very young corners on their team, and they went out and pursued and made that trade happen for Jakorian Bennett. So, like I said, I mean, I'm hoping, with the latest developments, especially around Christian Wilkins, we heard about Lucky Fatu has been in a walking boot. Tonkin Hemingway, I will probably get into that a little bit later, but there's been a position change there. We don't know what we have in JJ Pegues and Zach Carter, who I think there's a position change there too, because I think earlier in the year they had him listed at DN. So we'll see how Booker figures into this rotation, but just looking at it, just face value, like we got taken to the woodshed on this trade. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, I'll trust the experts on this one." Well, at the end of the day, there's one point that I wanted to make, just in favor of the Raiders and what they were seeing. I think this says, you said it says a lot about, I think it says a lot from two different perspectives. It says a lot about the Raiders' current D tackle room. From them to make that move is desperate. They felt like they needed to make an upgrade or add some competition. And I'm figuring that Thomas Booker most likely is gonna, you would think if you make a trade for him like that, I'm thinking that he's probably gonna figure into this rotation. You know, he's gonna be in the mix. We'll see. But another thing that it also says, it says a lot about the Raiders cornerback room and how the Raiders feel about their cornerback room. They feel good about a Darian Porter. They feel good about a DeCam Richardson. They feel good about a Eric Stokes. You know, those are guys that they feel good. Even a Greedy Vance is making plays. Donald Holmes, on the other hand, I don't know. His days might be numbered. They might. I'm looking at the depth chart right now, and I'm seeing it, and I'm like, they might possibly add a veteran. You know what I mean? Maybe a Rasul Douglas is out there. You know, they add a vet in the room. But for the most part, I think it says a lot about how the Raiders feel about the cornerback room because they waited to make this move. They waited to do this move. I mean, obviously, the Christian Wilkins kind of made them a little bit more desperate than they would have been, but they felt comfortable to make this move to trade Jakorian Bennett. Now, I will say the only other move, in my opinion, that would make sense is to keep Jakorian. To keep him. Because I don't even think trading him for a 6th and 7th rounder would have made me like, bro, like he's better than that. I know he's better than that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just you see, and this is where the good GMs win. You factor in like the injuries he's had the first couple years. You know, he's under the radar a little bit. Not a lot of people kind of know him. But he's played. We the Raider fans know him. You know, he made some plays. He had some notable games. Again, you mentioned Jamar Chase, probably arguably the best receiver in the game. And he was part of shutting him down. I mean, he had like 7 catches, like 40 yards. But then like against Jakorian, it was even less. Like it was like probably like 2 catches, 3 catches, probably not even 20 yards. You know, don't quote me on it, but it was. Pretty much, Jakorian had a really good game against Jamar Chase. But I think it says a lot about how the Raiders feel about the cornerback room. They're confident about it. And then it also says a lot about the D-tackle room. They're not confident, so they felt like they needed to add some talent. We'll see if Thomas Booker is something happens. But on face value, I feel like I agree. I feel like the Eagles won it just based off like what we know of Jakorian and what he's shown and what he's. Because if you look at Thomas Booker, he's barely played any snaps, but he's playing behind the best defensive line in football. Like literally, Jalen Carter, like the guy that we wish the Raiders would have drafted a few years ago. I don't want to open old wounds or whatever, but man. And then you got the Jordan Davis of the world. Then you got the Milton Williams. Like they have a great D line and rotation there. And it's already solidified. There's no reason for them to mess that up. So for a Harry Roseman, he's looking at it like he's not even hurting the team by trading away a Thomas Booker. Just because even though he's a young talented player, like let's say if he felt that way, he knew he was never going to take any snaps away from Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis or from any of his other players that are obviously in their prime of their careers and are more established. So it's like, and right now their need is at corner. So I can see where Harry Rose, it could be a situation where both teams can win, but man, when you're a Raider fan, man, it's hard to give benefit of doubt to the current regimes, you know what I mean, that we've been through, like the different front office, the different like GMs that come through. But I don't know, I like what Spytek's been doing so far. So I'm going to give him a little bit benefit of the doubt, just a little bit. But it's hard, man, because if Thomas Booker doesn't do anything, then it's late. We gave Jakorian Bennett for a bag of peanuts.
Yeah, man, I ain't giving nobody no. I've learned better about giving people the benefit of the doubt, bro. I've been giving the Raiders the benefit of the doubt since 2002, and ain't been a damn benefit that came out of it. So, it's one of those situations where it's just like you look at the Eagles just got 2 highly regarded corners. Like Quinyon Mitchell was my number 1 corner that year. I felt, I said he was like in my opinion, was the best defensive player in that draft class. I just thought it was special. I think PFF or somebody just ranked him as like a top 10 corner. I forget who it was. And Cooper DeJean played damn good last year as well. Proved himself as a very good NFL corner as well. So the fact that they still went out, and wanted to get a guy like JB, I think that shows that they feel there is a lot of talent and potential there. And the fact that even though, hey, you know what, you have some guys in front of Booker at D tackle, depth at every position is valuable. But I can see that I can see where you if you have a strength where you can take some of that strength to shore up somewhere of an area where you think it is a weakness, but I don't think corner was that massive of a weakness for them to where if he was as good as some people were trying to project him to be all of a sudden, even though they never really seen him play, if he was that good or he's going to be that impactful of a player, Howard Roseman is not going to trade a guy like that, because there are other ways to address the corner position. And we just talk about ourselves, talking about picking up Rasul Douglas. So it's there are other ways to address that position if you feel that that much conviction about the type of player that Booker is. Obviously, he didn't feel that much conviction about him because he was willing to let him go for a guy, for Jakorian Bennett. So I don't know. I just think we lost the trade. I'm still hoping for the best. And I think, he fits that mold. He's that tall 6'3"-ish, 6'2"-ish, between 295, 310-ish D tackle guy that can, hey, you know what? If we need to play you at end a little bit, we can play you at end. We need you to play you at nose a little bit. Hey, you can play some nose. He's a guy in that mold that Pete Carroll likes that we talked about pre-draft. So hopefully he's able to be a contributor on his team. But we drafted some young guys as well. And we already had some guys on the roster that we acquired last year, in Laulu. We picked up Leaky Fotu. We'll see what his injury is. Adam Butler, we just gave him a contract. So it's kind of hard to see exactly where Booker fits in on this roster right now.
Well, look, you talk about Jakorian Bennett and why the Eagles would pick him up. It's because they're looking to shore up their secondary. And they feel like Jakorian Bennett could be a guy that can play some meaningful snaps for them. A guy like, Thomas Booker, unfortunately, the talent is way higher in the D tackle room than it is the secondary. Now, that being said, I'm not disrespecting Keon Mitchell. I'm not disrespecting this Super Bowl winning, defense and team or whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying that he's when you hear talk that Cooper DeJean might go to safety, Ringo, a guy that they was supposed to factor in the rotation. It's not. I don't know if he's hurt or he's not really playing up to the type of ball that they want in the secondary. And hopefully some Eagles fans can already speak on this. But I will say that Jakorian Bennett for the Eagles is going to factor into some snaps for them for sure. For the Raiders, where was he in the depth chart? This is week 2, week 3 in training camp, and we're hearing that he's the fourth corner. The fourth corner? Because he's not going to be nickel. So he would be that outside corner. He would be that fourth corner. He would be backing up the outside corners.
Yeah.
So the only time he'll be on a field is when they probably run 4 wide receiver sets, or maybe he's coming in or he's coming in relief of an outside corner. You know what I mean? It's
or for an injury.
Or injury. Yep. Yeah. That's the argument that you could play, but hey, look, it's off.
Eric Stokes hasn't played a full season, and people talk about Jakorian Bennett. Eric Stokes ain't played a full season now.
Hey, it'd be crazy if Thomas Booker is a starter. He
that would be
finds a
ideal.
way. If he finds a way to start or pretty much rotate with, because right now the rotation, if we've seen the depth chart, the unofficial depth chart has Adam Butler is the starting D tackle along with Joanna Lalu as the other D tackle. Yeah, so right now that's what it's looking like. But then you got to factor in when Thomas Booker we put him in the mix. We'll see how it goes. But I want to see and that's another thing too. Just to pivot real quick. I know everybody's been talking about the trade. We won't know what the impact of it until some time has gone by. But face value, I'll say the Eagles won just because we know what Jakorian Bennett brings to the table. There's a little bit of question mark with Thomas Booker, but he is 25 years old. There has been some potential. I've heard Eagles fans talk about him. They really like him. I'm sure you probably heard the same, Severe, but it's tough. It's a tough situation, but it's just like, I don't think a 6-7 round pick would have been the answer for Jakorian Bennett, because literally they said they've been trying to trade him for the last few weeks. There's been nobody willing to make a trade, and he was a former 4th round pick. I'm not sure if he would have got a higher. Yeah. I for sure would have won a 3rd round pick or 4th round pick, even a 5th. But I don't think there was anybody that was going to be able to give that up for whatever reason. But that being said, let's pivot to the first preseason game.
Yeah, my God, Ellis.
Oh yeah. Oh, real quick. Oh yeah. My guy Ellis, man. My guy with the super chat. My guy, I put it up earlier. My bad. He says, does anybody have John Spytek's contact information? I have some magic beans for sale that I think he might be interested in. LS definitely not a fan of the recent move, but we'll see, man. I feel like Raider fans in general we're scarred. You know what I mean? We're scarred. So it's gonna take us a minute to. It don't matter who it is. It could be the greatest, whoever. It's even Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll should be known as the cornerback whisperer. He's developed some guys at that position. Yeah. And he has some say in making this trade happen. He okayed it. I'm sure Spytek ran it by him and then Pete Carroll had some say in this. If Pete Carroll didn't want this to happen, I don't think this trade happens. Yeah. But even that is not enough for Raider fans to be because we're skeptics naturally, just because based off the terrible moves that the team has made within the last 20, 30 years. So I'm kind of wait and see. I'm waiting and see with it. But I agree with you, Severe. Right off the bat, I don't agree with the move.
Yeah, I mean, there's extremes in Raiders Nation. There are people who are extreme skeptics, like me. I'm just gonna be skeptical of everything until I see some results on the field. I'm gonna be skeptical of everything they do. If I like something, I'm gonna like it, but I'm gonna look at everything I don't know about that. And there are some people that no matter what the Raiders do, that oh my gosh, Pete Carroll. Look, sure, we traded Max Crosby for a 3rd round pick, but it's Pete Carroll. He knows whatever he does, there'll be some kind of excuse for it. Whatever the team does, there'll be some excuse. There are streams on both ends of it. And it's kind of a wait and see situation. I just know that we traded a guy who technically the last 2 years was an opening day starter for the Raiders. We traded that guy for a guy that, could barely crack the rotation for the Eagles. And that and it's a situation where there are some Eagle fans that are saying good things about him, but there are Raider fans that say great things about Sincere McCormick, and I don't think he's an NFL player either. So, just because you got some fans that'll say some nice things about you, or you flashed in very limited situations, a la Sincere last year, or like Zeus the year prior, doesn't mean that you're going to be a contributor on an NFL team. So it's one of those wait and see type situations. The events that led up to this trade, obviously, kind of might have forced the Raiders' hands in terms of needing some depth at the defensive tackle, or at least needing some bodies there for the time being. So we'll see. Hope for the best at this point.
And too, another thing too, preseason. This first preseason game is probably going to tell us a little bit about the offensive line and defensive line. If you heard, Pete Carroll in his presser today, he kind of made an announcement that starters are going to be playing this first, which I didn't expect, but I'm not sure if he's going to follow through on it. Maybe he spoke too soon.
I didn't take it as that.
You didn't take it as that? How did you take it?
Because somebody said, will the starters play? And I think where his exact words were everybody's ready to go. Like that's his exact words.
Yeah.
Like it's like, hey, like that's, hey, you know what? Hey, like, hey man, are you guys coming to the party? He's like, yeah, man, everybody get in the shower right now. Like, all right, but that's not answering
Yeah.
my like
That's true.
okay, I'm
That's true.
sure
That's
that is
true.
happening, but so like I said, it's one of those things where it's one of those, it can go either way. I think it might be a situation where he was purposely opaque, where he'll maybe play it by ear to kind of see, hey, you know what, maybe I want to play this guy, maybe I want to play some of these guys, or he's testing some guys out in spots that may not necessarily be starters, so he doesn't want people to read too much into it and say, hey, you know what, for sure this guy is a starter or not. So I think he's being like purposely opaque, but
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see. And I don't know anything about his past, so if my fault, because I should have probably looked into it pre-show, because I haven't looked at how the Seahawks have handled their starters in the preseason in years prior. So if there's somebody in the chat that knows, hey, you know what, hey, Pete Carroll generally does play his starters preseason game 1, or they get a 1 series or 2 series, or somebody in the chat that knows that, hey, please share the information with us, because that would be very illuminating.
Well, it wasn't just Pete Carroll just saying that too. A lot of like the media, from the beat reporters, national media reporters, are all reporting that the Raiders are going to be playing starters. We'll see. We'll see if he follows through.
But is it based on that quote though? That's what I'm saying. Like they all be reporting it, but they could be reporting it. If it's based on that quote, then it's like
true. So we'll see. We'll see. But either way, we're going to see like a few guys that are going to be factoring in the rotation play this Thursday. So I want to see some of these rookies play. I want to see what they're going to do, because we haven't heard their names. But to be fair, like it's kind of hard in training camp where it's non-contact and you can't tackle to the ground. You can't be as physical. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm kind of concerned. Christian Wilkins not being part of the mix. Like, in order for this defense to be at least respectable, solid, or even as good as being a top 10, top 15. Or the top, I'm not even gonna say top 10, because that might be too much to ask, especially to how much talent they lost this offseason. At best, maybe top 15. Top 15.
I mean,
because that's and I'm being nice, but it's hard, man, because that defensive line, man, that's what I'm gonna be looking at, like, this first preseason game and the entire preseason, like the offensive line and defensive line. And there's some battles going on. I don't know if starters do play. That's going to be interesting to keep an eye on, because we got the right guard battle that's happening. Alice Kappa and JPJ, who would have thought that's happening. And then obviously the running backs. I'm not gonna lie, like they're really high on Zamir White.
I told people, man, look, I said he's not as good as he showed down the stretch of 2023. But that's because when he led the league in rushing in those games, I think he led the league in yards per carry and all that stuff. Like, he's obviously not that good. We've all seen that. But I said he's not as bad as what he was last year. And I think a lot of his issues were offensive line issues. And then, just the scheme change. And I think Darren Munford kind of shed a little bit of light on that when he talked, to the media a few days ago, when he was like, man, like, we're running plays, and it's like, we just didn't think they was like, we didn't think they was gonna work. Like, we didn't believe in it. Basically, they didn't believe in the plays that were being called. And I'm pretty sure that was more of a Luke Getsy type situation at that point. And by the time that the Raiders no longer had Luke Getsy, and by the time their offensive line was healthy, Zamir White was not healthy. And, and from, I forgot who was saying it. I don't remember who. There was somebody that works for the Raiders that spoke to Zamir like early last year. It's like, man, like, you don't look right. He's like, yeah, man, I'm really not healthy. But like, he tried to push through it till it got to a point where like he couldn't really do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And so that's when he gave way to obviously Sincere McCormick and Amir Abdullah. And that's when the line started to gel and be at their best. And when we had, Meredith in there playing guard and JPJ playing center, and Colton Miller was finally like fully recovered. And, we didn't have Getsy there anymore. And we started producing more in the run game. So Zamir White, he's not like gonna set the road on fire, but he is a very, very solid number 2 back, and I think he'll show that this year.
I mean, we'll see. You know who's buried in the depth chart is Sincere McCormick. He's buried, but I feel like.
But this is an initial depth chart, so I don't want to read too much into it.
Right. You know what I feel like? Pete Carroll he kind of leans towards the athletes. He likes the athletic guys. Like Zamir is like the strong, fast, compared to like a Sincere McCormick, who might be maybe, I don't know. It seems like Sincere McCormick looks a little bit more like a running back. When I see him run, like he a little bit more skilled, more shifty. Like probably vision might be a little better.
Yeah,
you know, but we'll see. But Dylan Lobby is like literally he's getting cut.
Just through. He's
done.
through, man.
We'll
hey, that was my guy pre-draft. This guy is one of my sleeper guys, man. You know, I thought he would come in here and be able to make us out, especially in the pass game. But like from some recent developments, they ain't gonna need him at all because we got other people that can do that job. So it is a wrap for him. And you know, from looking at the depth chart, it's other guys that, you know, in terms of the return game, he's probably not gonna get any burn there either. So it is a sayonara for Dylan Lobby, unfortunately. But another thing though about just piggybacking off your point about Sincere versus Zamir White is that Pete Carroll was saying, and some of the beat writers were saying it as well, where like all of the Raiders, like all of their backs, they have certain skill sets, right? They all have like something they're good at. They all have something to their game. But the other backs, they all have some similarities, except for Zamir White. Zamir White is the only like big physical back that we have on the team. Like even Genty, he's like a tough runner. He breaks tackles, but he's not like, you wouldn't consider him like a pile mover where like, hey, you know what? We're going to just run you up the gut and you're going to just like plow through some people. That's not his game. He's a tackle breaker, got good vision, good contact balance. You're never going to get like a full 100% hit on me, and I'm going to bounce off you and I'm going to keep going. But Zamir White is that power, like downhill, all right, I formation. You know, hey, we lining Ian Thomas up at fullback, running straight up at the gut. Like that's what he can do. There's not a single other back on this roster that can do that. And that's where his niche is. And that's why I've been telling people, that's why I think he makes this roster.
Okay. Well, hey, we'll see, man. And he'll have an opportunity to showcase his talent this Thursday. Make sure to tune into Around the Shield, which we'll have the show right after the game. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. My guy Bryson in the building, he says, I'm new, man. Appreciate you coming through. He says, but y'all like my boy Dante Thornton Jr. from Tennessee. Yeah, man. Hey, we've been hearing a lot of good things. Dude obviously has the size, the speed, the athleticism that you would want at an X receiver, and that he's been showcasing that since OTAs up until now. It's getting a little interesting, I think, as far as where he stands in the depth chart. It was. How did you read it? Did you read him as a starter? Because it was, because they had him standalone, like they had his name, then right below that they had Tucker and Jacoby Myers. So how did you read that? Was Trey Tucker the number 3 receiver, or?
I read it as I forgot which one I was looking at. I read it as almost, it was damn near how they were going to be lined up. So he was like outside receiver.
Yeah.
And then Jacoby, how they had is like he slot, and Trey Tucker, other outside receiver. That's how I read it.
And the reason why I asked is because some people are reporting that he's going to be that number 2 guy after Jacoby. So he's going to be the other starting receiver. So I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out between now and the start of the season. But
so what I heard, and they said, and that's like, you don't always know. It's not like super reliable, well, not necessarily reliable information, but it could just be like them tinkering with things. Because what I heard was when the Raiders went 11, right? Or when they went, when they went 12, it was Tucker that was coming off the field, and when they went 11, and there's only one tight end on the field, Brock Bowers came off the field. So, like I said, it could just be them tinkering with things. So, like, you kind of don't know. But from what I was hearing, like, Tucker was the first wide receiver off the field when they hopped in 12.
Okay. Hey, look, it's fluid right now. So right now, we know that Trey Tucker, I think, is having a good offseason, good training camp so far. Along which I know they are big fans of Thornton because he brings that size, athleticism, but the experience ain't there. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out. But Pete Carroll, he's not afraid to put young players out there, man. Like, he's not. He's shown that in the past. Mostly, I would remember on defense. But it sounds, I'm sure, like he's probably feels the same way on offense as well. So we'll see how it shakes out, especially this first preseason game. Hopefully we'll be able to see Dante Thornton out there. I would think they should put him out there. The Trey Tucker, everybody should be out there. But we'll see. And then we got My Take G Money Raider says, "Hey, love the show. I think Booker reminds me of Rod Coleman. If you guys are old enough to remember." Yeah, I mean, didn't he play for the Raiders and Falcons? Did he play for the? I think he played.
Yeah, I remember for sure for the Falcons. I don't remember the Raiders, but I remember for sure with the Falcons. But there's a bunch of old ass players that played for the Raiders like 1 year.
Yeah.
So,
And the thing is too, but I remember him as more of a 3 technique, because the way they're describing Thomas Booker, he's more of like a run stopper.
He's a first, second down player.
Yeah, that might have some potential to develop some pass rushing skill. You know what I mean? That type of player. But we'll see. We'll see, man. I'm not sure if he's gonna suit up this game. Probably needs some time to acclimate. But he plays a position where he probably throw him in there and at least get some snaps. But we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely need some time to acclimate. I think.
Yeah, for sure. AJ says, how many snaps does Tyree Wilson get at D tackle? A game? I think it's gonna be like obvious pass rushing situations.
Yeah.
That's
another thing about the trade.
Depending on how many third down, it has to be third and long.
Yeah,
like third and long situations. So
do they mean like what's the percentage breakdown of end versus DT? Maybe I think he'll probably play like 25% of his snap will be at DT.
At defensive tackle.
Yeah.
The majority would be at DN for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in that depth chart. I mean, he's listed as a backup. Kuntz and Max obviously going to be starting. But yeah, we didn't even get a chance to talk about the scrimmage, man. What did you think about the scrimmage? What you hear? Like, if you want to talk about that real quick.
I heard that Geno Smith was dominating basically. Like Geno Smith was just carving up the defense. They spread the ball to several different receivers, multiple tight ends and running backs. I think he had finished every single drive with a touchdown. Which was concerning. It's good for Geno. Like, hey man, Geno, you looking good, but it's like, okay, well, damn defense, can you stop this dude at some point? But it was the ones versus the twos, in all fairness, and he also had Brock Bowers, who is a mismatch for everybody. And I heard also there was a few times where Chip Kelly just essentially, just schemed people wide ass open, just wide ass open. So I don't know if that was defensive breakdowns or if that's just Chip Kelly doing Chip Kelly things. But I heard good. It's good that we're starting to see our starting quarterback kind of put things together, especially as you ramp up toward the season. Heard Brock Bowers looked great. Heard Michael Mayer looked great. Obviously Max had probably the play of the day on the strip sack of Aiden. Saw another play. Aiden fumbled too. That's unfortunate for him. But yeah, man, I was trying to read all the reports, but for everything that I was hearing, man, a lot of people really love what they see from Chip Kelly. Basically Dante Thornton looked great, Geno Smith looked great, Tucker. I think the tight ends were great. I think people say Tucker was pretty impressive too. But but what Chip Kelly was doing, like a lot of people, that scrimmage gave them a lot of hope and a lot more confidence in his ability to be our OC.
See, the thing is that I am a little bit concerned about the Raiders defense because so far in training camp, it feels like the offense has gotten the upper hand more than the defense. There's been a couple of days here and there, but for the most part, in years past, it was the defense. And even in general, like what do they always say? Oh, around this time of year, the defense usually has the upper hand against the offense. That's just typically, right?
Yeah.
But that's not been the case with the Raiders. The Raiders offense has been winning most days compared to losing compared to the defense. That's kind of concerning because that was the Raiders defense last couple of years has kind of been a strength. And now they're taking 2 steps backwards or taking a step backwards, which, you know, is not surprising because they lost like what? They got Morig, like they have completely different starters.
Yeah.
On defense. Outside of like Max and Kuntz. And Kuntz didn't even play.
Technically he's a completely new starter. So
because I mean, that's true. Yeah.
Isaiah Palomar and Max are and Adam Butler. I think those
Palomar not a starter though. He played some snaps, but he
was a starter last year. He was started last year. He started. It was him and Epps, and then Epps went down.
No, it was Epps and Morig, and then that's
that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, but Epps went down early though. He went early. He went down early in the year though. I think he started most of the year. So I consider him like he played most of the year as a starter.
Yeah, it's still, man. It's a lot of new players on defense. A lot of new starters on defense. And like you can argue like did we upgrade?
We got Tyree back.
Oh man, you got jokes, man.
You got confidence in Tyree, man. He's number 7 overall pick, man. What's up?
Daniel Kim, man. Shout out to the King of Mods in the building. Says according to AI, Carroll did play his starters during the preseason when he was in Seattle. Okay. All right.
Yeah. My dog Leo and I think 805 were both there. I don't know if either one of them are in the chat. If y'all give us some reports on what y'all saw there, that much appreciated.
Man, shout out to Drake. He's a Seahawks fan here, but I know y'all about to be good this year. Okay. This is a Pete Carroll faithful, I'm sure, because he's a Seahawks fan, so I'm sure he was rooting for Pete Carroll, the head coach, while he was there. Yeah. Andrew, Eagles all day, every day. Hey, Andrew, man, let us know, man, about Thomas Booker. What do you think of him as a player? Let us know, man. We got some fans from different teams, man, especially Eagles fans, Seattle fans.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all stopping through.
Did you hear any good things about Genty?
From what I did hear, about Genty was that we used him a lot in the passing game, and that he looked very comfortable in that role, where it didn't look like it was something that was foreign to him, or like it was something he was just doing for the first time, or he hadn't done in a long time. It came natural to him. But what I also heard is that he didn't really flash. He had some nice plays, but also a situation where they weren't really like tackling, so it's hard to say how good some of his good plays would have been if people were actually really tackling. Salute to my guy Dub Raider. Make sure you check out, he got a good show too, and check out Dub Raider show. But it's hard to say like how good it would have been if people were really like going all out, and even more so after the Lonnie Johnson injury that kind of took the air out the sails and deflated the entire room, and people were really playing like a lot more tentative at that point. So they said it's hard to say how impressive some of his plays would have been if people were really trying to bring him to the ground, and then also that he did not look explosive. He looks like, hey, he's a pretty good athlete. He's pretty fast, but it's not like, this guy's about to take it to the house. Like he's a threat to score a touchdown anytime he touches the ball. Like it wasn't one of those type athleticism deals. But they said, hey, he did get some nice catches, and where he he got open, he was able to get some extra yardage after the catch. But it was like, okay, then they ran him out of bounds like 6-7 yards. So in a real game, that's valuable. Like 6-7 yards on a catch, hey, that's valuable to your running back. But if you draft a guy 6th overall, you want a guy to go for it, or 7th overall, you want a guy to go for 6. Like that's.
Well, you know what I heard about Gentry's game? He's going to take what the defense gives you sometimes. So he'll be really consistent of getting you 5, 6, 7, and then out of nowhere he'll get a big play. But you know how there's a lot of boom and bust with some of these running backs that go for the big play. Like they'll be like 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. Oh, 50-yard run. You know what I mean? Out of nowhere, right? That sound like Darren McFadden. Yeah, that was Darren McFadden.
Yes.
But yeah, it was exciting for sure. Yeah, man. Shout out to Leo, man. He says Mayer looked amazing.
Yeah, I heard great. I heard Mayer been on one like all off season.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. If Gentry can't give that threat to score with the ball in his hands, and I'm not expecting him to be Chris Johnson or even a Travion Henderson, a guy that you like that has that 4.3 speed. But like, if you don't have that in your repertoire, if he doesn't have that in his toolkit, it just making him the number 6 pick, like it just looks questionable.
Yeah,
not gonna lie, man. Like you gotta have that, and what I'm trying to say is that like there's a spectrum. Like you don't have to have 4.2, 4.3 speed, but at least be a threat to score. Like if it's there, but it's too early to tell, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's early to tell, but I know. But like there are people in the building that seen it, and they're saying that like he didn't look like that type of player. Just seeing him going against NFL caliber athletes to be taking it to the house. So I'm like, when you say it that way, I just like, man.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we kind of worried about, where it's like nobody didn't say Gentry is not a good player. Like he was still my RB1. But if you're going to take a guy at first of all, you can call a guy generational, and then you're going to take him in the top 10 at that position. He's already the second highest paid player at his position. I think Kyron Williams, who's like been second team All Pro, he just signed a contract extension. I think Gentry's still making more than him. It's like, you feel me? A guy that's been second team All Pro before. So like if you're gonna pay a guy that much money, take him at that position, he's gotta be able to do all of that. Especially people calling him generational and all this stuff. So it's a situation where I don't know, and you never know how guys behave in these scrimmage situations. Some guys just really don't get up for them. They're not really like going all out, because it's not. They know in their heart of hearts it doesn't really count, and they really don't want to hurt themselves. So I'm hoping it's a situation like that where it's like, all right, I'm not really out here trying to cause harm to myself or cause harm to anybody else. So I'm not really going to lower the shoulder or put myself in a dangerous situation where I can get rolled up on or anything like that. So I'm hoping it's that. But like I was like, but for example, like you talk about the spectrum, right? Like what spectrum would you need him to be in to justify where we selected him as in terms of like his speed? Like we talk about Chris Johnson. That's like at one like end of the spectrum. Then I guess like you got Eddie Lacy. That's right, like the other end, right? Eddie Lacy, like Ron Dane. Maybe that's like the other end. Like where would he have to be in that athleticism spectrum to say, all right, man, this guy he's a legit home run threat. He's a legit like threat to take it to the house anytime. Like what back would you say like comp wise?
You said Jonathan Taylor was 4.4, 4.3, right?
Okay.
He was 4.3.
I think so. I think he's about that.
4.4, 4.3.
Somebody say, I'm looking at this. Amos Zeroaway? Is that what you're talking about? Amos Zeroaway with the Steelers? He played for us for a year, didn't he?
Leo says, not gonna lie, was hard to tell about that part because they stopped going hard after Lonnie went down. Yeah. When did he go down? Did he go earlier? Or was it later? Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to judge his tackling breaking ability because they weren't really hitting.
MJD was 4.3 too. He was 4.3. He was a kick returner too.
But MJD's way faster. Though. It's not even like MJD way faster than Genty. That's not even a question in my mind. He's way faster than Genty. He's way fast. I already knew that, but like I wasn't expecting Genty to be as fast as him. Just fast enough.
You know what? Old boy from New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
Okay. I
think Kamara is like he's not 4'4", 4'3". I think he's like 4'5", but he's so smooth.
Yes.
Like, and that kind of reminds me a little bit of Genty a little bit.
Okay.
Where
I can see that.
So I'm like maybe that, but he can take it to the house.
Yes.
He can take it to the house.
And he's a hell of a receiver too. I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. I mean,
is Genty faster than Joe Mixon?
Ooh, Joe Mixon. Maybe right in that range. I'm trying to think like Joe Mixon and Care at Oklahoma versus Genty, because I want to say Joe Mixon was taking stuff to the house. He was a baller at Oklahoma. Maybe around that range.
Yeah, but I'm not comparing the player. I'm not comparing the player. He says Kamara is a 4th, 6th rounder. I'm not comparing the player as far as like where they were drafted.
Yeah.
I'm comparing more so the speed. The speed, like this, because we're talking about the spectrum. Like, because I'm saying, what does it make like if you're gonna take someone at 6th overall, they're gonna have to have the ability to catch the ball out the backfield. They're gonna have to have the be a 3-down back. They're gonna have that ability to take it to the house. You know, but when I say take it to the house, I'm not saying that it has to be Chris Johnson 4.2 speed. It's just within a spectrum, and we're trying to, because we know Genty's not he's not 4.2. He doesn't have 4.2 speed.
He for sure didn't have 4.2 speed. He didn't have 4.4 speed.
And I'm saying, and if he has Kamara, like that's what I think he has.
Yeah.
That just like, okay, if he's taking it to the house this much in college, like he did it like all season last season.
Yeah.
Like he did all season. He was taking it to the house like almost every game.
Yeah.
But if he's able to bring a Kamara type level of like a threat where he can make a guy miss, break a tackle, then boom, he can take it to the house.
Yeah. I think the Joe Mixon comp or the Kamara comp, because I think he may be about the same speed as Joe Mixon, maybe a hair slower than Joe Mixon, but basically that same, right in that same range, because Joe Mixon and Kamara are both like about the same speed. I would say.
Sure. I agree,
but Kamara is smooth. Kamara, like you said, he's like more. Joe Mixon is more violent. Kamara is like you said, he's a little more smooth. Okay, I'm a break a tackle. All right, he has a little more of that to his game. So I think. Right in that range, and both of those guys are, they're considered two of the better backs in the league.
You know what's crazy about Kamara? And I agree that Kamara is a dog.
He's never had a 1,000-yard season.
He's never had 1,000 yards rushing season.
Yeah. We talked about that before.
That's like a random fact that a lot of NFL fans for sure wouldn't know. They would think that Kamara like he's like you could argue he's the best weapon on their offense, like the best thing about their offense.
Yeah, for a while. But think about it, he's hurt a lot, and then he was splitting carries with oh boy, what's my guy's name?
You talking about out of Alabama?
Yeah, it's not Mark. I'm supposed to call him Mark Henry. Went to the Raiders. Mark Ingram. Mark.
You said Mark Henry, bro. Sexual chocolate.
Mark.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Mark Henry. Oh man, Mark Henry. It's off topic, man. Did you hear about this story where Mark Henry punked Michael Jordan?
Oh, was it at the Olympics?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I seen it was like an interview, huh? Like he was talking about an interview.
Yeah.
What was the whole? I forgot the story. What ended up happening?
I forgot. Basically, like Jordan tried to sun him, tried to punk him, and Mark Henry wasn't going for it. And then Mark Henry basically flexed on him, And then like Michael Jordan ended up inviting Mark Henry to his birthday party. He was like, I was like, how you go from disrespecting this man to inviting him to your birthday party?
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Look,
if y'all haven't seen that, you gotta watch that interview. It's hilarious.
Hold on, let me see if we can see it real quick. So if we go, let's see. Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this, y'all.
Yeah, see. Look at the game. If you look at the games played,
look at that.
Rough.
This is Alvin Kamara's stats, bro. He's never had 1,000 yards. Last season was the closest. And he averaged, I'm not gonna lie, like last few seasons it's kind of been a little questionable.
Yeah.
Just barely cracking 4 yards a carry. You know what I mean? Like 3.7, 4 yards, 3.9. Last season was 4.2.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the gate, he started up crazy, like in 2017.
Yeah,
but
he was in a complimentary role.
Yeah, he's a complimentary role, but it's like, oh man. It kind of takes away from how good he is. Like, this is one of those players that you would say, like, you would have to see in person to know how good he is.
But his receiving numbers, though, too.
Oh, his receiving numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Great point. Because that his rookie year, you know how he had 728 yards rushing?
Yeah.
Average 6 yards a carry?
Yeah.
He caught the ball 80. He had 81 receptions for 826 yards.
Yeah.
So with Alvin Kamara, you got to judge him off of total yards, total scrimmage yards.
Yeah.
Because damn, like he's damn near having like 1,000 yards both.
That's
like
really
700 yards rushing, 800 yards rushing, 800 yards rushing, 700 yards receiving. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. Like he's literally like 900 yards rushing and then 800 yards receiving.
That's crazy.
So he did that. He's like doing this like kind of consistently.
Yeah.
Then he had a little bit of drop off, but like his drop off is like dropping down to like 500 yards receiving, 490, 466. Last season he was kind of like, oh okay, 950 yards rushing and 543 yards receiving. And he's getting like an average of like, damn, like 81. Like he had 81. He had 81 catches 3 straight seasons to start his career.
Yeah.
That's Drew Brees right there, though. That's Drew Brees.
Kamara was my favorite running back for a little while. I think he's from Tennessee too, I want to say. Or when he went to Tennessee. I don't know if he's from Tennessee, but I think he went to Tennessee.
Yeah, that's the only... I'm trying to think of a back that would also be in that spectrum of like his speed. How fast was DeMarco Murray?
Oh, that's a good one.
DeMarco Murray?
I think
is he around that 4?
I think he's probably around that time. Yeah, I think he's probably around that or low 4 or 5, low 4.4s. But yeah, I think he's probably in that range.
Like DeMarco Murray, maybe.
And you know who he was a rushing champ at one point, so you know, like you can be very productive, you know.
Nah, but he was a threat to take it to the house too. He wasn't like Adrian Peterson and or Chris Johnson level of taking it to the house, but I think he had his moments.
Yeah. He had his moments.
But Murray was big though. Yeah, Murray was big. Yeah, he was.
Murray was big, yeah. Like, all these dudes, like Joe Mixon, I want to say Joe Mixon is, well, I don't know. Joe Mixon, I can't remember how big he is. I'm pretty sure he's bigger than, well, I mean, he's a very small dude. And from what I hear, like, he's generally, like, I think Leo was saying, like, he's generously listed as 5'9". Like, Leo's like, bro, he ain't no 5'9", bro. Leo's like, straight up, that he 5'9" with cleats and insoles, bro. Like, he's not, like, he's not 5'9" at all. So, and Leo's seen him, like, in person. So.
Damn. Hopefully he play. I want to see him play in the preseason, man. I want to see him. Like, that's like the one player on the team. I mean, there's a few players I want to see like this year. And that's the one thing that even though the Raiders haven't, like, this is how football gets you. Like, even though, like, let's say the team's not winning, you still look forward to see certain players, like, to see how they they look in real time.
Not
Y'all
fast.
think he has LT speed? Oh, hell no.
No, I don't think so.
Well, LT, didn't he ran like a? Yeah, I think he ran like
LT wasn't super fast though. I don't remember. But see, the thing about LT is that he was just so smooth that it didn't look. Some dudes be so smooth that it don't look like they fast.
No, I think LT though ran like a 4.344 coming out for
Really?
40. Well, you know,
Really?
let me look it up. Let me before I talk about it.
Okay, maybe he did. I thought we looked
Daniel
at the
Thomason 40 time 4.46.
Okay.
Yeah, especially like what?
So
How many
he said
times
that
he took it to the house.
Yeah.
Like in it's the NFL. Like as he got older, you could tell when he lost a step. Like I remember against the Raiders when he was with the Jets, he had like a this is like back in this is like a 2010. I don't know why I remember this game, but it was like in 2010 when they played the Raiders, 2010 or 2011, and like LT was playing with the Jets at the time, and he took like a little screen pass. The old LT would have took it to the house, but he got caught from behind like at like the 2-yard line or 1-yard line.
Dang.
But you know,
That's crazy.
it's his father time.
He's
Like,
older, yeah. This is with
he
the
was
Jets,
older.
though.
He was older, but shit, when he was with the Chargers, man, he was a Raider killer. I'm not gonna lie. He had his best games against the Raiders.
Killing this. I'm trying to remember, like, how fast was Pre-Songs?
Damn, Gary Coleman. I haven't heard that name in a minute. That's funny.
How fast was Pre-Songs?
Priest Holmes. Oh, Priest Holmes was.
He was
had,
cold.
He had like
But
quick feet though. Like he had a little.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't like, he was just cold. Chris Holmes was cold, man.
Man, Priest Holmes.
I-
Priest Holmes is one of my favorite. Like I used to like Priest Holmes. He played for the Chiefs too.
Yeah, he had that cold ass like celebration where he do like the like.
Yeah. Priest Holmes. Let me see, 40 time.
Priest Holmes. I think they talked about like Priest Holmes had like, I forgot what it was.
Oh god damn! 4.73.
Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy.
He played for the Ravens. Oh, he was an undrafted free agent. Ooh,
Yeah, he was undrafted free agent. Yeah. His first team was with the Raiders. He was backing up Jamal Lewis.
Yeah,
He was Jamal Lewis's backup, and then he got his chance. With the Stars.
Damn,
Yep.
he might be like, he got to be like top 10, top 5 greatest undrafted free agents. Like,
Oh, for sure.
Priest Holmes.
4.73 is nasty work, but see that's why some people just not fast. Cause like remember didn't Vontaze Burfict run like a 4.9 or something crazy like that? Like, Vontaze Burfict ran something like disgusting. That people was like, bro, he already had off the field issues too. So like, bro, he's not. Bro, you a thug and you slow? Like, you ain't drafting you.
Let me see.
I was a dog. Yeah, I think like, but they was talking about like, I think maybe it's a 2-year span. I don't remember if it's a 2-year or 3-year span, but it's like Priest Holmes had like the greatest like 2 or 3 year span of any running back ever.
Bro, like he was undrafted free agent 97, 98. He had 1,008 yards. So that's like his first, like, you know, I don't know, maybe Jamal Lewis got hurt probably in 98. And then like she probably went to like a more backup role with Jamal Lewis coming back. He had 500 yards. This is with the Ravens. And then he had another 500 some yards in 2000. Jamal Lewis is still there. Then he goes to Kansas City. First year, 01, 1,500 yards. 02, 1,600 yards. 03, 1,400 yards. But he had a short career though, man.
Yeah.
Very short.
He started getting hurt a lot.
Yeah, man. But he was nice, man. Like he had a good, nice little run. It was like him, especially like that around that time. It was Priest Holmes was nice. LaDainian Tomlinson at that time, man. And as a Raider fan, man, I was holding out hope for Lamont Jordan, man, and that dude was trash.
Trash. I was super excited, man.
Bro.
See, that's what, and look, and that's why I blame myself for this because that's why I say, man, I gotta learn my lessons. I gotta learn my own lessons because I did the same thing with Lamont Jordan, or I did the same thing with Zeus that I did with Lamont Jordan, where Lamont Jordan came in relief duty of Curtis Martin. Is like, man, Lamont Jordan, man, when he plays, he's nice. Like, but that's in that secondary, like that secondary role. You ain't the primary guy. So then we came over here and we gave him an expanded role, and it just wasn't the same. It just was not the same.
Yeah.
Steven Jackson was another dog.
Yeah, Steven Jackson. His speed. He had speed to take it to the house.
Steven Jackson was big as hell though. Like it's not. Steven Jackson was like ginormous running back.
Yeah, he was big. But he was a workhorse though.
Yeah.
That dude. Like if he played with a better team, bro. Like they ran him to the ground. But they ran him to the ground. But he had a decent to long. He didn't have like a short career. He felt like let me see. How long was Steven Jackson's career? But real quick, shout out to more Cowbell says, "Yo, gang, wanted to ask y'all thoughts on Jack Jones. I'm a Fins fan, but decently excited when we signed him. Should I keep my expectations low?" So Jack Jones is like a poor man's like Marcus Peters. You know what I mean? Kind of like a guy that's looking for the big play. And teams I feel like take advantage of his aggressiveness because he's looking for that big play, them double moves and things like that. He did have some issues last year with his where people were questioning his
effort,
tackling and things like that. I think you should keep it low, but there's talent there for sure. There's talent there for sure. But I know Miami right now. You guys are hit with injuries at corner too. You guys lost like Jalen Ramsey, a few other players. Y'all got hurt, so I know you guys are dealing with injuries. So if Jack Jones is going to be the starter out there, man, but hey, look, he might look at it as his last chance. Because I know he was on the pivot, and you could tell like he was trying to really work on his image and trying to make sure everybody understood that he that he was a guy that you could trust, and because I'm sure there was like questions about him. He had some off-field stuff and stuff like that. So I think Jack Jones might take this whole opportunity with the Miami Dolphins, and he might run with it. But he's had some crazy interceptions, big plays in his career. I think Jack Jones is the type of corner that you would want to have with a good D-line, a great D-line.
Yeah. He's what you call it? Dang, I can't think of my guy's name. Corner. He played for the Patriots, played for the Eagles. His son plays for the Chargers.
Oh, Asante Samuels.
He's Asante Samuel Jr. Like a poor man's Asante Samuel Jr. Same thing where he's like,
Asante Samuel does have an Asante Samuel Jr.
Exactly, right? Exactly, facts, right, yeah. He's Asante Samuel Jr. Nah, yeah, he's like a poor man's Asante Samuel, where he's like slight frame, not overly physical. He's smart, high IQ guy. You can tell he kind of understands formations, understands tendencies of teams. But he's going to gamble, but that's where he's going to. And he's not really going to be a factor in the run game. Like it's Asante Samuel Jr. Asante Samuel's not a factor in the run game. But he is going to be, but like in terms of just physical talent, he has a bunch of physical talent. Like he's super athletic. You can see like his movement skills are really good. Like he has great ball skills. And when he catches it, like he's trying to score. But he is going to gamble, and sometimes it's going to bite him in the butt. So I think if you, like as Pharaoh alluded to, if you put him in a situation where he's able to like kind of sit back and read and do that kind of thing, and then like he can like jump routes and do stuff like that, like that's kind of where he's at his best, because he's intelligent and for the most part, when he's not gambling too much, he has pretty good eye discipline. Yeah,
and he's the type of corner like those Marcus Peters, Asante Samuels. You want them to play behind a good D-line. Yeah. To take advantage of their skill set, where they can just like, take advantage of the D-line getting after the quarterback. And then obviously the quarterback is going to be probably telegraphing some of the passes, and they could jump, they got good instincts like that way. But
yeah, that's a good one right there too, Raider Nation. Ray Buchanan. Ray Buchanan was nice with the Falcons.
Oh, wasn't he a safety, or was he a safety with us? He was safety with the Raiders. I thought he was a safety. Ray Buchanan. Was Ray Buchanan a corner? I thought Ray Buchanan was a safety. I thought he was a safety.
Maybe did he transition to safety later in his career? I don't remember. I remember with the Falcons, he was nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you know how to set it up and get there, yeah, for sure. You just need enough speed. I'll just say just enough speed, and if you combine it with that, for sure. And I think that's what everybody's betting on. I think that's what the Raiders are betting on. It's not that he has elite speed, it's that he has everything else. Like he has the ability to break tackles, he has the vision, you know what I mean, to set it up where he can get into a big play, and then obviously he has enough speed to take it to the house. That's the thing. I don't look at Genty as like, oh, he's just gonna will his way by just outrunning the whole defense. Like that's not how I look at Genty.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So okay, yeah. So he was a cornerback initially. He played safely. He did transition to safety. I remember he was a nice corner.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a nice corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
But see, she right next to 5'10". The thing about it is that's all well and good. You know, like he'll be a productive player like that. But if you draft a guy at 6, you know, like if I spend $100,000 on a car, like I don't want it to be like, oh, you know what, hey, you know, it's fast, like it's kind of fast, but you know what, like you know, like it gets 0 to 60 in average time. Like, nah, bro, I want a top of the line car if I'm paying $100,000. Like I want it to be able to do everything. Like I want leather seats, I want heated seats, I want massage. I want the best stereo system. I want it to be fast. I want it to be flashy. Like I want all of that. So you know, if I'm spending that much for it, and I got to like negotiate or I got to give and take, it's like, come on now.
Mike Jones, Jack Jones is boomer bust on the same drive.
Hey, that is fact, bro. That's fact.
That's funny.
He giveth and he taketh away.
That's funny. But I'm not gonna lie, but he played some great ball during that stretch where, you know, I mean that entire defense did.
I'm off the waivers, yeah,
bro. Like he had us thinking,
like you said, so our pass rush was cooking.
It was cooking, but the entire defense was cooking.
Yeah,
the entire defense was lights out. Like the latter half of that season, especially when they probably knew that like if they play well, then they give you know, Antonio Pierce a shot at, you know, being the head coach. You could tell like they were playing for him. And it was to the point though. It was to the point that we thought Jack Jones was going to have a breakout year last year, and it didn't happen. The best corner was the corner that we traded away, Jakorian Bennett. Remember that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's with the Eagles. But hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Let's move it along, man. Hey, it's that time. It is that time, man. It is flag on the play.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Severe, man, what's the first flag on the play today, man? We got a few, or a couple. We'll just keep it as two for today. But there was plenty of flags that were happening all around.
Plenty of flags.
So
many different flags.
Right. What's the first one?
Directions. The first one is we're gonna go with Diana Rossini. I believe she used to work for ESPN. I think she does her own thing now. She was recently on a podcast with Bill Simmons, and the Raiders got brought up, and she was like, I gotta hear it. She was all over the place.
All right, let me and this is the one. Oh yeah, I sent this to you real quick. Okay, here you go.
Yep.
He really involved with the Raiders for real, in your opinion?
He is involved in everything. Everything. First of all,
you hear it?
It's Tom Brady. Yeah. What does he care about? Nevertheless, have ownership in something and just goes, oh, I want nothing to do with that. Of course, he's involved in this. I think he's informed daily of things that are happening, and he has a say. And I think he's in contact with the stars of that team. I say stars, but like outside Max Crosby, right? But when they were going through that coaching search, You think it was just Mark Davis on the phone with these coaches? No, it was him. Ben Johnson took the interview because Tom Brady called him. He didn't want to go there. I don't think Tom Brady wants to be embarrassed by saying he's the owner of a team that's going to be a dump. He's going to make sure that it's at least at a level of respectable, at least try to figure out a way to get it there. I don't know if he has that ability to do it.
I'm interested to see how involved Brady is, because I think Brady's done a good job of the perception. I say this as as somebody who brought me and the other Patriot fans 6 rings. We love Tom Brady, but he just seems very spread out all over the place. And the better thing is that he was involved with the Pete Carroll hiring, and whether Pete has 2 decent years left or 5, I don't know, but at least he's a real head coach who has a culture in place and is going to try to make them seem like professionals, which was not the case the last few years.
I don't know. I think you're in denial. I think you just don't want Tom to be associated with a team that's not going to be that good.
I didn't like seeing him in the Raiders stuff the other day.
It was weird, right?
I didn't like it. I think he should not wear Raiders stuff. Just wear like generic. I know he has to.
Man. Oh man, we gonna have to give that
Yeah, man.
Yeah, she was hating for sure. Now, to be fair, the Raiders haven't been good. Period.
Yes.
But if you're gonna critique the Raiders, and I think this is how a lot of Raider fans feel, if you're gonna critique, at least be accurate. Yes. Give us accurate critiques. Don't try to like make up some stuff and say that that Max Crosby the only player when obviously there's more than Max Crosby on the roster. That's what I mean. That's the only one that she could think of in that conversation. Exactly. That's probably what it was. But as far as the value that Tom Brady's bringing to Raiders, we understand that. We understand that Ben Johnson didn't come to the Raiders based off the Raiders, the franchise. It was because of Tom Brady. We understand that. But you could tell, like, the host, Bill, he was like...
Bill Simmons is a hater.
He's a hater, but he wasn't trying to hate, though. You peep, like, his energy was like, it was hella like, he was just more curious to see what's going on with Tom Brady and the Raiders. He's trying. And then at the end, he hated. At the end, he's like, fuck it. You hating, then I'm going to hate too.
See, Bill Simmons he's a groupie for Tom Brady because Bill Simmons is a Boston fan. So he likes the Celtics. He likes the Patriots. Right. So he spent his entire career basically hating on the Lakers and hating on everybody that was in any form or fashion against the Patriots. So he wasn't going to like. So initially he was trying to just make sure he wasn't going to like do anything that could be perceived as like a slight towards his Lord and Savior Tom Brady, because that's like, so he wasn't going to do that. But when she brought up like, oh, the Raiders gear, he's like, yeah, I didn't like that. He brought us 6 rings and we love him. He does have to preface it. Oh, I love he brought us 6 rings. We love him for that. But I just seeing him wear that stuff. I just I was like, come on, bro, like, get the hell out of here. He's he got a 12-foot statue in front of Gillette, so you'll be able to go, beat your meat to Tom Brady anytime you want to, bro. Like it's like.
Yeah, man, definitely flag on the play. We got to give it to him. I mean, usually when I hear people hating on the Raiders, like what is perceived hate by other fans, I'm looking at it like, come on, let's be honest. The Raiders have been good. The Raiders have been good, and someone's hating, then I'll be like, all right, they hating. But this one, in this case, the Raiders haven't been good, but they're like kind of doing it to the extent of like not even giving accurate information. Like, come on, if you're gonna critique us, say at least be accurate. At least be accurate.
Like, she's an embarrassment. It's like they're an embarrassment.
She called it a dump. Called it a dump. That's wild, man. That's wild. And you know what too? I'm not gonna. We talk behind the scenes, but she is what she was. She's with the Athletic. I know she was with ESPN. She's the Athletic insider now, NFL insider. So that's kind of interesting for her to just go in. And even Schefter, I think, was going in with the Raiders. If you remember during the Ben Johnson, situation where he's like, I don't buy it. He's like, why would he go to the Raiders? I was like, damn. No one caught that. Everybody forgot about that. But I remember when Schefter was like, I was like, sheesh. Like, that should tell you everything you need to know.
That's what's so cold because we was like people were like they was out there feeding us. That's why I don't be. That's why I be people be like, oh, you're so pessimistic. Like I don't be believing this stuff. Like people like, oh man, we got a real chance of Ben Johnson. And Schefter was like, nah, not happening. It's like we were like, you hater, and then like shit was right. He was absolutely right. So I was like, that's the thing I hate the most is when like people be hating on us, and then they turn out to be right, and I'd be like, damn. It's like shit. And then I can say, it's like, oh, the Raiders are going to suck. No, but no, they're not. We're going to be good. We're going to win. And then at the end of the year, like, what'd I tell you? I'm like, can't say that thing. Can't say a damn thing.
Right. Raider Nation Frown says she hating. Yeah, definitely. I don't like Brady and Raiders gear. I mean, you ain't lying about that. That is kind of weird. It is kind of weird just based off the history. But, man, it's 2025 and the Raiders are trying every way possible to win. I guess they're hoping that Brady could sprinkle some magic or whatever, have a little bit better influence on the franchise. What did Mark Dave say a few years ago? He's looking for his football guy. That football guy happens to be Tom Brady. So we'll see, man, to see how it shakes out, man. I like time will tell. Like right now, it's kind of hard for me to like just be overly critical of some of the moves. You kind of can tell, like I'm like, oh, well, we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we'll see. Like, let's just wait. Let's give a season, at least a season, to look back and be like, all right, these draft picks contribute. Especially, I know you're waiting for Genty. Genty especially is the big one where I'm kind of looking forward to see like, is he that special? Is he that guy that you would draft at number 6? Yeah. I want to see that. I want to the same way I look at Brock Bowers. I want to look at Genty the same way.
Look, and when we drafted Brock Bowers, we laid down the gauntlet. We was like, look, man, Brock Bowers don't do these numbers. Like, it's gonna be a disappointment at the pick, and he exceeded that, by quite a margin. So we're hoping for the same. Now, people were talking kind of the same about Brock, but Brock is he was dependent on our quarterback situation. So I know that like the expectations weren't quite as high. He was like, yeah, these quarterbacks kind of trash, but. Like they were both people were saying they were generational. So Brock came out and he did generational things with bad quarterback play and bad play calling. So and dysfunction all around him. So Genty is coming into like, if anything, Genty is coming into like the best environment you could possibly have. A quarterback, 2 deep threats on the outside, a quarterback that likes to throw the deep ball, one of the best run game coordinators in the league. So far a pretty healthy offensive line, a coach that wants to run the ball and is willing to run the ball and has displayed in the past, he will run the ball. It's a way better situation than what Brock Bowers came into. I expect him to produce. Do I expect him to produce at the level that Brock Bowers, where he's like breaking rookie records and like breaking records at his position that haven't been touched for decades? No, but do I expect him to put up more all-purpose yards than Alvin Kamara did as a rookie? Yes. Yes, I do.
Man, I think what Kamara had, he had like 1,500.
800 rushing and 700 something receiving. So, it's like I've been saying 1,600 all-purpose yards. That's like, and that's not even. I really want to put it closer to 1,800. To be honest with you. But I'm being fair. I'm saying 1,600 just because I expect us to get the ball to Brock and to Michael Mayer and these other people.
Very too nice. If we will burn the house down. Hey, man, I'm cautiously optimistic. I've been saying that all off season. That's how I approach the, especially when new regimes. Like, I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt. Okay, Spy Tech. Oh, he came from the Bucks, the Eagles, under Harry Roseman, under Jason Light. I think Jason Light, the GM, is it Jason Light, the GM for the Bucks? So I'm giving Spy Tech a benefit of the doubt. I'm giving Brady the benefit of the doubt. Carroll, we know his pedigree, so I'm just like, I'm waiting to see, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not gonna be like trying to lie to y'all and say, hey, everything is all good. Like, hey, like I said earlier, Jakorian Bennett on face value, I feel like the Eagles won the deal. Face value, like I feel like just right off the bat. But I can see the logic of what the Raiders are trying to do, but I got to see it come together to be like, oh, okay, all right, the Raiders got something in return. You know what I'm saying? But right now, like, I can't say that. But that being said, let's move it along. We still got one more flag on the play. If you want to get an intro to this one, Severe.
Yes, sir. So last year there was a quarterback people said was generational.
Oh, damn.
And you know, me and Pharaoh, we came on here and we said, you know, there was a quarterback we like better than him. There was a quarterback. There were two quarterbacks I said I like better than this guy, and I always said it wasn't about the talent. And I said he would fail because he didn't have the temperament and he wouldn't be able to command the respect of NFL grown men in that locker room. And his name is Caleb Williams, Mr. Sassy Pants, as you know. And he was recently seen at the Chicago Bears mini camp or training camp throwing a hissy fit over a drill that he did not have success in. And I think this is just a microcosm of who he is as a player and why I say he would not be good in the NFL.
All right, here we go. Just one more time, man. So he misses every throw in his drill. It's just I just don't like.
It's just the pouting.
It's just like, is this dude really about to be a bust?
Bro. And he looks small too. That's another thing, man. He looks like shorter quarterbacks are having more success, but that's just nasty work, man.
Oh my God, man. That is supposed to be the face of the franchise, leader of the team. I'm sure every player in the locker room is like holding their tongue, not trying to talk about this, not trying to, bring this up as a topic of discussion. But yeah, I mean, off the field, Caleb Williams is a very interesting guy. I don't even want to say interesting guy, but just peculiar. I don't know what you want to call him.
Peculiar that's a good word. I think that's safe for you,
man.
too.
It's something. He's just off, man. He's just off. I don't know. I don't know if he fits as like the franchise quarterback. I don't know if that's him. Yeah. And you know what? It sucks because if you're a Bears fan, they've never had a franchise like QB like that. I mean, what, Jim McMahon?
Jim McMahon. And he's not even really a franchise. He won.
He just like
he's not. It was
just he was part of like the greatest defense.
Yes.
Like even the Raiders, you know what I'm saying? So someone's like, how about the Raiders? Well, we had Rich Gannon, who was an MVP. We had Jim Plunkett, who won 2 Super Bowls. We had Ken Stabler, one of the greatest quarterbacks, Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Like it's like, come on, like. So even the Raiders we've had our fair share. Not a lot, but we've had some guys. The Bears,
but
literally nothing. Like Rex Grossman, Jay Cutler, Kyle Orton.
Jay Cutler is probably the closest they had in terms of like a franchise guy, and he had talent. Like he
talent,
had a temperament. Yeah,
he's not. He kind of like what? As a leader, you probably I don't know, man. Well, like it's kind of wait and see with Caleb Williams, but like. That the Jay Cutler as a leader he was terrible.
Yeah, he didn't care. That's the thing. Like Jay Cutler is like he just wanted the ball. He just wanted he wasn't like a vocal leader at all. He one of those people. He didn't care, and that's why when people got mad about like the Broncos trading him, like I understood why, because you can't go from like Tom Brady, who's like psycho about everything football, all preparation. And you see, like, this is how you win Super Bowls in the NFL, and you go to Jay Cutler, who like don't give a damn about nothing. He's like super nonchalant about everything. It's like, damn, bro, you ain't about to win. So
yeah,
but yeah,
Yeah, man. Well, hey, flag on a play, Caleb Williams. He did not look like a franchise quarterback there. I know he's going into his second year, young quarterback, but I don't know, man. It's more stuff than that he's doing outside of the football field with the painted fingernails and just like I don't know, man. Like
flowers in the head. And Ben Johnson's having a rough go of it too, man. Because I think he just kicked Luther Burden out of practice.
Yeah, who would have thought, man? I didn't know Ben Johnson was that militant. Like,
yeah, I didn't know.
It's almost kind of like Josh McDaniel-ish.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but maybe it was Dan Campbell was like kind of shielding, the players from it.
That might be true, yeah, because Dan Campbell's like the players coach,
Yeah, good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, for sure. Damn. So that means there got to be some balance in that locker room. So whoever is like under him, or like whether the assistant coaches or whatever, got to be able to balance him out. But man, I don't know, man. The Bears, I feel like one of those teams that might be disappointing this season. They got the talent though. They got everything. I mean, they got some pieces, I should say. I won't say everything, but like they got some pieces, some young pieces. But definitely flag on a play on Caleb Williams, man. But did we have some honorable mentions before we move it along? I feel like we had probably a couple of honorable mentions.
Yeah, a few. This was another one with Caleb.
The painted fingernails.
Yeah, man, that was crazy work. Do we have some other? I want to say we had some other. Do we have some honorable mentions?
Ashton Genty.
Oh yeah, the $15 million mansion.
$15 million, and he just signed probably the biggest contract that he's gonna sign as a running back. Because running backs, isn't he like his contract's like top 10 in the NFL, right? Top 10, top 5.
His contract is the second highest.
The second highest. So he's like, I'm gonna use half of my contract on this house. It's supposedly supposed to be in the same neighborhood as Mark Davis, because Mark Davis, he spent all the $1 million to build his like a Raider like castle or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure he got clowning. His house was clowning, I'm sure.
Yeah, man, that was an honorable mention. I'm like, come on, man, that's crazy. I think that those are the ones. I mean,
we had the Jane Daniels and his mom.
Oh, his mom is just way too involved, bro. Like, why are you like let him be him in his element? You know what I mean? As a quarterback for the team, like, it just feel like she's just trying to share the spotlight. So definitely, we talked about it before, man. Like, it's just kind of strange. That whole situation, but
Ashton Genty gonna have to put vending machines in his house to pay it off. I think another one was another honorable mention was I think I sent it to you was Kai Cenat and the other dude getting arrested in the mall for playing hide and seek. They're like 30 years old.
That was stupid. Like, who watches that?
Like, see that kids, that's the thing. It's like kids watching it.
That is wild, man. Like, why would you watch
30 playing hide and seek, getting arrested.
Hide and seek. Damn, that's wild. Random fact. I sent this to you before. That was crazy. I sent that to you. All right. Yeah. I think that's all of the honorable mentions. I mean, oh my God, Trayvon Henderson. He's serving with the Patriots right now.
Serving, man. People mad I bring it up.
Damn.
Yeah, he's out there killing, and I gotta.
I heard Kyle Williams is looking good for them too. Kyle Williams.
I got a partner that's a Patriots fan, and he like, yeah, bro. Because I was telling him like, he not like super guy that's super into like the draft and stuff, but he follows the team. Now when he drafted Travion, I told him like, man, y'all got a dog, man. Like he gonna be nice. Damn. And then he been telling me like, yeah, everything I'm reading, man, like everybody's saying he's special. Like he gonna change the complexion of our offense. Like he gonna be James White on steroids, basically, like just to the umpteenth level. So I'm just like, dang, man, damn.
We'll see, man, because you know what? Like a lot of the talk with Genty, outside of the things that you were saying, where we talked about, where people obviously being there at the scrimmage and things like that. A lot of people have a lot of good things to say about Genty. He's better than advertised. Like Albert Breer was out there at Raiders training camp, and he was just like, man, like all signs point to like Genty being better than advertised. Like he's gonna be a 3-down back. They love him as a receiver. And it showed obviously at the scrimmage where they were having him, split out wide and things like that. But we'll see. We'll see what it looks like, man, when it's all said and done. And hopefully we'll be able to see that maybe a little bit in the preseason.
Yes.
But most likely we'll probably have to wait till the regular season to see how it looks like in its totality. But that being said, if you haven't already, make sure to clock in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels. So if you are a first-time viewer, definitely subscribe to both channels as well as like the video. And for the guys that's watching that's already subscribed, just hit that like button, man. Just clock in. That's what we like to say in the channel. Clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Here we go, man. So look, man, we're not done yet. We got notable quotables. This is where we play quotes we find interesting, we feel like we could talk about, bring to y'all. Severe, man, if you want to start off the first notable quotable.
Yeah, man. So we've been hearing we've talked a lot about our tight ends. We talked a lot about Ashton Genty, obviously. We talked a lot about Dante Thornton. We speculated what we can get from Jack Besh. But one guy, like I personally haven't talked a lot about because he's my arch nemesis, is Trey Tucker. But Geno Smith, he was at the podium and he made a comparison of a player, and that is very high praise.
Trey Tucker sometimes gets overlooked a little bit, but he's a guy that. What did you know about Trey coming in? And obviously, it looks like you guys are developing some chemistry.
Yeah, I would always see this number 11 making plays on the Raiders. Like when I was on Seahawks, and I'm like, that guy's pretty quick, he's pretty fast. I thought he was really good just from afar. But as I've gotten to work with him, really, really special player. I think he's really going to be a big contributor to this offense. Trey's a guy who works hard every single day. He does all the right things on and off the field, like a true professional, a true leader. And I talk to him all the time. Like I think he's a spitting image of Santana Moss, and I think he can be a really, really good player. And I look forward to all the things that we can accomplish together. But right now he's in a good spot, and we just got to keep working.
Ooh, man, high praise, man, from Geno Smith.
Yes,
the Trey Tucker, man. I don't necessarily see it yet. I feel like Santana Moss was more explosive.
Crazy.
More explosive.
And that's saying something because Trey Tucker ain't slow.
Yeah, and because I think Trey Tucker, one of the things that we kind of looked at, we're like, damn, like he's fast, but you would think that he would be faster at that size. You know what I mean? And being at that weight, I mean, because he ran like a 4.4, which is fast.
Yeah.
But there's obviously bigger players that are that fast, if not faster. Santana Moss, he ran a 4.3. Santana Moss had a 42-inch vertical. Trey Tucker had a 37-inch vertical, but they're similar in heights slightly. But Santana Moss is bigger at 5'10", 5'10", 5'11". I think he's 5'10".
5'10", I think.
And then Trey Tucker, he's like what? 5'8", 5'9", like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, probably closer to 5'8".
Both have short arms. I think Santana Moss has like 29-inch arms, wingspan, whatever. So it's not like nothing to write home about. But
how long is Trey Tucker's arms?
Oh man, like it's like I think it's like 28. It's like 28 and some change.
That's crazy. Man.
It's 28 and some change. And I looked it up. I was like,
he looks shorter than that.
I was like, Santana Moss was good. And
he know what
I mean?
He was a dog.
And he was explosive. He was a factor in the special teams as well. Like
he went to the U, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's just we haven't seen it like come out as a pro. Like we haven't seen like that explosiveness, that dynamic
in college either.
I'm just saying, man. Like high praise from Geno, but I just don't see it. Maybe it might be Geno just hyping his guy up, but we'll see. I kind of like made a comment today. I'm like, maybe Chip Kelly is going to be the right coach to bring it out. It can happen. You know, it's his third year. This is like, you know, when players play fast, they're going to look fast. When they play fast, when they play fast, like when they're literally, they're not thinking and they're just doing. Maybe Trey Tucker, everything slows down in his third year with Chip Kelly, who is going to make it a point to get the ball in his hands, make it comfortable with plays that he's comfortable with. We've seen it with, like, you know, you want to take all the way to Darren McFadden when Hugh Jackson went up to D-Mac, and he was like, hey, like, what plays do you like running? What kind of plays do you like running? And I always remember that. And I remember that because I seen we seen the impact of that. We seen what happened, and it led to, you know, Darren McFadden putting up some great numbers with the Raiders. And obviously he got hurt, but hopefully Chip Kelly can unlock that part of Trey Tucker's game. But I just don't see it as of right now, man. What was your thought of the comments about Geno?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Geno, he wants to big up his guy. You know, Trey has been having a good camp. I've been hearing Trey Tucker is one of the best players we have when we do the one-on-one drills. He's like probably one of the more impressive receivers in those situations. But as you said, I got to see it to believe it. I got to see it to believe it. And Santana Moss, Trey Tucker ain't even Carlos Santana. Like, I ain't even that's too much right now, man. That's too much. I got to see it from Trey. And it's tough right now because he's in a situation where he's probably going to get a lot of favorable matchups, but he's also on a team where he's got to be fifth in the pecking order. You think about he's behind Brock, behind Genty, behind Jacoby, behind Michael Mayer. He might end up being behind Deontay Thornton in terms of the pecking order by the end of the year. So it's gonna be tough for him to really show and prove. So, you know, I'm hoping for the best. Everybody knows I clown on him. Everybody knows, like, I thought we needed to upgrade over him for the longest time, but I've been hearing good things. So I'm hoping that he's able to translate what he's been doing in these mini camps and these training camps into actual, you know, to the preseason and to the regular season.
Cool Kid says Caleb throws like he's in the state fair. Yeah, it looked like a little kid, man. Kids at the state fair can throw better.
Man,
that's
facts.
funny, man. That's funny.
He went over and non-moving target.
He's like the guy at the undercover brother. Don't call me a sissy.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Wilkins and Caleb collaboration. Oh, man, damn.
Come on. Come on.
Huey, man, we don't want to see that collaboration at all. Man, but that being said, yeah, I just don't see it. But you know what? It brought a little perspective for me, like, because I know that I wasn't excited about the pick just based off his size and like his. But when I seen Santana Moss's like measurables, I'm like, oh damn. So you can be successful with these measurables.
Yeah.
I didn't think you could. Like, I thought you would have to be super explosive. I mean, he was. I mean, 4'3" is pretty explosive. And he had a 42-inch vertical is a 42-inch vertical. I don't know however you want to slice it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, Trey Tucker, 37 inches is good, but it's like when you're in the NFL and it's the game of inches. Like at the end of the day, like you gotta. Yeah. That's fine. You're giving up like you're small. You're like 5'8". You're smaller than Santana Moss.
Yeah, and you got shorter arms. So it's like you're already behind the 8-ball.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're not done yet, man. We got another notable quotable. What's the next notable quotable, Severe?
Yeah, the next one is obviously everybody knows we got two of the more important positions in your organization when you're an NFL team is your head coach and your quarterback, and it's very important that those guys, you know, have a trust in each other, that they have a good, not only working relationship, but you want them to that relationship to ascend and to exceed that, and go beyond the field if you really want to maximize what you guys do as a football team. And there's a quote of Pete Carroll was talking about the kind of player that Geno Smith is, and basically how much he admires him.
What we've seen with Geno Smith and his career renaissance over the last few years is rare in today's NFL. To struggle early, be a backup for several years, but then to come out in the way he played for you in Seattle. What did you see from him that suggests to you that he'll come out again here as a Las Vegas Raider and show out the way he has?
Geno's no different than he was the first day we got him. I didn't know him very well. I knew his story. I knew that he had some hardships and all. Knew he was a marvelously talented player. But soon after that he arrived, he recognized that Russell was the starter and he was the backup, and it was how he embraced that challenge that changed everything for me about who he is. Every day he came to practice, came to work, he was thinking that I know that the very next play I might be the starting quarterback, and that connection never left him, and so it drove him to find his best and to work every day with sincerity and commitment and the toughness that it takes to do that. And he went 4 years. He didn't play at all in 4 years, and then he finally got a chance and had 3 really nice games right out of the chutes. And then Russ came back, and then he kind of didn't get back in until the next time, and we went with him. So for us to get him to come here, to bring all of that history and background that we share together, it's not just friendship, but there's that, but it's more than it's a shared experience. Yeah. And I know who I'm dealing with, and he knows who he's dealing with, and he's trying to make me the best I can be. I'm trying to make him the best he can be, and we're willing to challenge each other to get that done because we're both competitors, and we battle in that regard. And it's such a significant change for us to have him in this new program, new Raiders, and the whole thing. So he does what Max does on the other side, and so we have tremendous leadership.
What we've seen with Geno.
Hey man, Pete Carroll. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, you could tell they have a good relationship, and there's a certain level of respect level, especially coming from like Geno Smith, his whole journey from being a guy that was drafted in the second round from the Jets. It didn't work out, but he stayed with it. A lot of people probably could say, oh well, he wasn't that good. He was a bust. Everybody's pointing the finger at Geno Smith. Obviously, he was kind of like dealt a really bad hand being with the Jets. Different coaches that didn't believe in him. And then he finally lands with Seattle, and the rest is history. It's crazy, what a coaching staff, that when they believe in a player, what it does for that player. Yeah. It did a lot for Geno Smith, and we kind of seen the results of that. He was able to turn around his career. That's what I'm like. That's why it's kind of interesting that Geno Smith is playing with this team, because it's like when people look at teams, they look at that head coach and that quarterback relationship. They look at that right there, that combination. Now, I'm not saying that Geno Smith is going to be the franchise guy. I don't know that yet. I got to see it. We'll see how it looks like. But man, I don't know, man. Geno seems like a really good leader. Like every time I hear him talk, he has those qualities. Yeah. You know who also has those qualities? It's a random off topic, but Cam Ward. Like every time I hear him talk,
yeah, Cam Ward has it, man. Cam Ward has it for real,
bro. He got it.
He has it for real.
He got it.
Either that or he's a hell of a salesman.
Great salesman. Unbelievable salesman, man. Like, but Geno Smith is just kind of the same way in that, like, when you hear him talk, there's a certain, like, you could tell there's a certain level of respect that he has from the players, and at the same time, like, the way it seems very genuine. It's not forced. Yeah. And then, and you got a head coach in Pete Carroll who believes in Geno Smith. We'll see how that looks like this season. But I like it. I like it as at the very least he's the bridge quarterback for the Raiders, which I have no problem with. What was your take on Pete Carroll and his words about Geno?
Yeah, man, it's been a long time since we had that kind of quarterback head coach relationship, and maybe you go back to maybe like Jack Del Rio, Derek Carr. like that that initial time that they had the 2016 season. You think maybe Gruden and Carr, but the thing about Gruden is that he was always kind of eyeing other quarterbacks. So I think that might have made Derek Carr a little uncomfortable because every year he's bringing those guys in for workouts and everybody's speculating. So, but it just seems that there's like a genuine trust and like love between those two guys, and when you have that, you're willing to go to battle for each other. And people say Pete Carroll is he's a young 74, and Geno Smith is a young 34. So they can conceivably maybe do this at least 2 or 3 more years, and at least get us going in the right direction, which is something we haven't seen or even thought could be possible for a long time. And it makes you kind of like it harkens you back to last year where we all know the quarterback that Antonio Pierce really wanted. And unfortunately, because of his own doing, really, he couldn't get him. And that's Jaden Daniels. And, you can kind of tell it would have been like a similar dynamic of trust and admiration between those two. And it clearly wasn't there between him and Gardner Minshew, and probably to some degree between him and Aiden O'Connell, because at the end of the year, he kind of said, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have gone with Gardner. And if we really had that much trust in Aiden O'Connell, he would have fought a lot harder for that guy to be the starter. So, now we have that dynamic, and let's hope we
I think Antonio Pierce's guy was in the draft.
That's what I said.
It was
Jaden.
It was definitely in the draft. But this is probably the best head coach QB relationship since maybe Gruden and Carr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe Gruden and Carr, but like you mentioned, like there was always like a little bit of like John Gruden looking to replace him every offseason. So
there's always that meme. There's always that meme of John Gruden with the dude. John Gruden was the guy, and the other girl you got looking.
Gruden and Rich Gannon.
I think that's a good. See, the thing about Gruden and Rich Gannon is like maybe Carroll and Geno are like this too, with like they would have like arguments like that.
Gruden fought for Rich Gannon. He went up to Al Davis and was like, "Hey, this is my guy. He fought for him."
Yeah.
So, and hey, he backed it up. They won games. Like he was like a great player for the Raiders. Sean Alexander comp to Genty.
I think he has a little more juice than Sean Alexander.
I hated it. I don't know.
Sean Alexander was cold. He was cold. He was ugly.
He was just ugly. He was just ugly, bro.
His
like
game
was
not nice.
I did not like it, bro. And he's one of those. He's a great player. He's a classic case of great player, but boring.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tim Duncan.
Exactly.
Same thing. Tim Duncan.
Definitely.
But even Tim Duncan, if you watch like some real good games, you could see like, damn, Tim Duncan's a great player. Like the plays that he would make. Both ends. I remember. You remember there's a .4. Remember? Yeah, it was ugly, but I'm saying. But remember the .4. Remember the .4 when Derek Fisher hit that .4 shot, right? Yeah. What happened right before that?
Tim Duncan hit that crazy ass. But then he had like it was a bank shot or something like that too, right? Or
over Shaq. Yeah, over Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, great players make great plays at great moments, and he did that. So I'm saying like. He was the reason why the Spurs are winning.
He was still like, bro. Everything about Tim Duncan was ugly, bro. He's like this dude's fits. He has some of the worst fits in the history of NBA, bro.
Man, Oscar, this is what you started right here. It's all-star is Sean Alexander, and that's why I hated. The same reasons why you didn't like Tim Duncan is the same reason why I didn't like Sean Alexander.
Man.
But Sean Alexander had like didn't he have like 27 touchdowns? LT ended up breaking it like 28, 20. Like it was just like some crazy number.
I want to say Priest Holmes broke the record initially, and I think LT broke Priest Holmes' record. Priest Holmes had the record.
Let me see. I want to look this real. Most rushing touchdowns in a season.
Yeah, I think Priest Holmes had the record, and then LT broke his record. I think Priest Holmes had Priest Holmes had the record initially. So I remember I was damn, when LT
it was Sean. He broke Sean. So LT broke Sean Alexander's record. Sean Alexander had 27. LT broke it with 28 in 06. Damn, and then Alexander only had it for a season. So Priest Holmes
had it before Alexander did.
Yeah. So Alexander and Priest Holmes were tied for 27.
So Priest Holmes had it first, and then Alexander did it and tied him, and then LT broke it.
Yeah.
So I remember Priest Holmes had the records. I remember I was like, dang, how this dude get the?
Damn.
Because I remember when LT broke it, I was like, bro, how are both our arch nemesis on teams breaking touchdown records?
Hey, do you see Emmitt Smith in Genty's game?
I mean that was the main comp I have for him. I think I like Kamara better because
Smith was
another.
Too.
His game was ugly too, but it's like the same similar. Like Emmett wasn't fast. He was kind of on a smaller side, but great vision. Real good contact balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, his game was just like I always hated him. I hated Emmitt Smith. I hate Emmitt Smith to this day for breaking that record. Right? Like I despise Emmitt Smith. Just he's a disgusting person.
Yeah,
because he stayed in the league just to break that record, and like nobody thought he should break it. Barry Sanders retired. Part of the reason Barry Sanders retired because he didn't want to break it.
He didn't want to break what?
Walter Payton's record.
Why didn't you want to break it?
Because he had so much respect for Walter Payton, and Walter Payton died. and Emmitt Smith like holding on, clawing on to life, playing with the bum ass Cardinals just to get the record. I'm like, bro, you're disgusting. Like,
yeah, I remember them. I remember he went from because he played with the Cowboys pretty much his whole career, and then he went to the Cardinals.
He went to the Cardinals.
Yeah. And then Emmitt Smith, I'm not saying he wasn't talented. It was just like, damn. Him playing with a great O-line did help him.
Yeah,
like an all-time O-line too.
Yeah, all time.
And a lot of these guys, like I'm sure, like LaDainian Tomlinson probably played with a solid O-line, but I'm not sure if it was an all-time great O-line.
Who?
Same thing with Priest. Oh, we know what? But all these guys had great O-line. Priest Holmes with the
crazy
with the Chiefs. Oh my, the Chiefs had O-line. I'm trying to think of the names. Oh, they had a guard. This is bro. I ain't trying to going hella off tangent, but like
exactly. I know who you're talking about though.
Oh man, chat, help me out, man. Name some of the guys on the Chiefs O-line when Priest Holmes is there.
Will Shields, is that it?
Oh. If Genty's Marion Barber, oh, that's disgusting.
That would be disgusting. Marion Barber ran super rugged. He wasn't. That's another dude.
He would like.
I don't even want to talk about Barber because I think he's passed. I think he passed away.
Oh damn! Hey, shit. R.I.P.
But Marion the Barbarian, he was cold though for a second. Like he was cold. He took the league by storm.
Hey, shout out, man! Shout out to Raider Nation 510. Will Shields, yeah, bro. They had a great O-line. My guy Smoke with the super chat. Appreciate you coming through.
Dog, ready to smoke.
Late to the party, but like and subscribe. Yeah, man. Like the guy said, man, make sure to clock in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. Yeah, Shields, man.
Tiger Woods.
Yes, sir. Raider Smoke, man, doing his Tiger Woods every weekend, man.
Yeah, man.
It was cold.
He got two young champions, man. He got two young champions he's raising, man. Future champions in the ring.
Man. Hey, see, that's the thing too. You start young.
Yeah.
They
nice. It's nice.
It's pretty much over for anybody, man. It's pretty much over for anybody.
Yeah.
When you start young like that. Man, let's move it along, man. We got. Do we have another notable quotable? Is that the last one?
That's the last one. I threw in yeah, this is the last one.
Okay. Do we have some what's real, what's not this week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go pull up what's real, what's not. This is where we say statement and we react to it as well as you guys, is if it's real or it's not. And let's go with the first what's real, what's not, Severe.
First, what's real, what's not. So we know we essentially know what the starting offensive line is going to be this year. But my statement to you guys is that Jordan Meredith will be the starting center for the Raiders to open the 2026 season. So we know he's going to open this year as a starter, but he will be the starter to open next season. Is that real or not?
I'm going to say it's not real. The reason why I say is because I think they're just making the best out of a situation. And right now, it's about putting the best 5 out there. And the best 5 happens to be Meredith, JPJ, Glaze, Colton Miller, and Dylan Parham. I think they're gonna probably make an adjustment during the offseason. They're gonna add maybe a player or maybe draft a player that can possibly compete for that guard spot. Or maybe you're forgetting about Caleb Rogers. You're forgetting about some of the guys that we already have on the roster that are young too as well. So I'm gonna say that's not real. What's your take on it?
I'm also going to say it's not real, which makes this move even dumber. so it's like it makes putting him at center and moving Jackson Powers Johnson away from center even stupider, because Meredith is not the long-term answer at the position. Jackson Powers should be the long-term answer at the position, yet he's not playing there. So, yep. But it is what it is. And I gotta address something in the chat. I know this is total troll bait, but this dude just said that if you put Josh Allen in Mahomes' situation, it will be a dynasty, as if Mahomes hasn't gone to the AFC Championship game every year for his career and won multiple Super Bowls. Like, what do you call that? That's not a dynasty.
Josh Allen is not better than Mahomes. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, and I'm saying it as a Raider fan, but at the end of the day, you can't deny like the fact that he's consistently from the beginning of his career all the way up until now, literally gone either to the, like you said, AFC Championship game and to the Super Bowl. He's won, like, recent memory outside of Brady. He's probably won the most, at least three, maybe 4. I think my 3. Outside of Brady,
he beat the Niners twice, and he beat Brady, and he beat the Eagles once. So it's 3.
Exactly. And Andy Reid, you could tell he wants to retire, but he doesn't want to retire because he knows it's money in the bag. Like, he knows he has the quarterback, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to coach a guy like Mahomes.
Yes.
He knows how hard it is to win a Super Bowl, but when you have a quarterback like Mahomes that gives you a chance,
you know what I mean? You don't walk away from that.
Hell yeah. Like, you could tell Reed looks like he wants to retire like any day now. Like, he wants to retire, but it's just he doesn't want to let go. People in the chat saying not real. Raider Nation says real. Says real. Okay. But I see what you're saying. Because you want to develop a level of consistency, and you're kind of ruining the development of JPJ, who we feel like is like a talented young offensive lineman. But if you keep changing him from position to position, you're not allowing him to get comfortable and develop at the same position. So, but you hear Pete Carroll talk about it. He's like, we just like it. Like, we feel like this. We like JPJ at guard, and we like Meredith at center. So
yeah.
And
know what? I was thinking. See, I can't remember. I can't remember who we had at center at UCLA, because we didn't have James. He was a tackle. But so I'm trying to think, because if you think I'm trying to think of Chip Kelly. He had Jason Kelce at center when he was with the Eagles. Jason Kelce is considered like an undersized center. Meredith is much kind of in that same mode where, JPJ, he's a big dude at center, but he's super mobile though. That's the thing. Like, you don't lose any athleticism putting JPJ at center, because he's very, very mobile for a guy his size, and he's a mauler. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it works out this year. We'll cross that bridge next year when it comes to it. But I don't think he's a long-term answer at the position, which is why it just makes the decision even more curious.
You know, it's a curious hire.
Brendan Carroll.
Pete Carroll hiring his son. Because I was thinking about it
from the beginning, bro.
You know what I was thinking about? I was like, damn. Like the Raiders are like literally stuck with Brendan Carroll no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Like meaning that like he's not gonna fire his son.
Oh no.
Like unless like it gets so bad where like Pete's like, hey, just step down, say that you got some things that you got to take care of your life, so it doesn't look like I fired you, so you still could like save some, save some. But I'm just saying, if it's a situation where the only way he can,
Pete gonna plant some heroin in his locker, like, well, Brennan, I can't believe, like you're gonna have to go to rehab. You got to step down and go to rehab. I'm sorry.
That's wild, man. That is wild. Oh, damn. Okay, coach. And Pete Carroll would have stayed retired, but he had Geno Smith. Nah, I don't think that's the reason why, though. I think he really wants to coach. I don't think he liked how the Seattle situation ended. He wants to end on his own terms.
Exactly. He wants to go out on his own terms.
Yeah.
But I think, but the thing is, I think him having Geno Smith, I think he'll coach longer than maybe he normally would have. Just because as long as Geno Smith is productive, I think he's gonna hang on. I think he's gonna hang on.
Man, because this is unprecedented territory right now. We've never seen a coach this old.
Yeah, man.
Like even when I see him, I know people be trying to be like, God, man, everybody's trying to be politically correct and be hella nice.
He be looking hella old, right?
He looks hella old. Why? No one want to say the truth.
He still got energy, so I ain't hating on him. But it's like, bro.
Yeah, no, he has energy, whatever. But like, he looked like, I don't want him to like fall down. Like when he's running like he's running the sprints, and I'll be like, oh man, like I don't want him to get hurt or anything like that, like because they say, well, I don't want to get into that conversation, but just let's say, man, people acting like people be like, oh man, like Pete Carroll looks like he's in his 20s. He got the energy of a 20-year-old, and then they just keep saying, I'm like, golly, like,
yeah,
let's call a spade a spade. He looks old. He just looks old.
Old as shit, man. He looks
the Raiders hired an old coach. It is what it is.
Yeah. He still got energy. Still got his wits about him. So
yeah. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, man, that Brendan Carroll, bro. Brendan Carroll, he's the one, like, because if he messes up the development of JPJ, because I'm sure he's part of the decision making with JPJ going to right guard and not staying at center. Like, I don't know, man.
I agree, man. I agree. It's not just that. It's that last year Parham played right guard. We're moving Parham from right guard to left guard. Last year, JPJ played left guard and center. So we're moving JPJ from center or left guard to right guard. Last year, Meredith played left guard. We're putting him at center. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
But coaches do this all the time. Remember when Parham was his rookie year where he was playing well? He was playing well at right. He was playing well at right guard. Then we moved him to left guard. Then the struggles start happening.
Yeah.
And then it's been like a mixed bag ever since then.
That's my point, though. We moved him to left guard to accommodate somebody else.
Right.
To play right guard.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we just did this year. Again.
It's hella overthinking it. They're just overthinking it.
It's like, like I said, it's just curious. And that's why I think that's a Brendan Carroll thing. I mean, I didn't like the hire when it happened, but
you know what? Hey, bro.
Hoping for the best. We got the 5 bets out there right now.
Coach, I believe you, bro. I believe you. Man. I think there are exceptions to the rule. And Pete Carroll is Pete Carroll. It looks like he's an exception to the rule. but he's still like people try to act like he's still old, man. He's still old, man. Like you still got to be careful. Still got to be cautious.
Yeah, man.
It's funny. Oh, his shoes too. Oh man, his shoes. It's hella goofy. It's hella goofy. It's old people shoes.
Oh yeah, he ran like the orthopedics. Yeah, bro. He out there running. Bro. He got the PE 1000s on, man. This dude is. He got the gym teacher ones on, bro. I'll be like, damn, Pete.
Oh man.
And but people like, I know like people love it because he's old. They talk about him throwing the ball. I'll be like, yo, bro, it looks.
Oh, when he's throwing the ball, it's like
he's gonna hurt himself.
He about to throw his whole arm out. Yeah.
I'll be like, bro, if he gonna hurt himself. He got on the Moses part the seas, man. I'm like, dog. Do not do nothing to hurt yourself.
You remember damn, bro. Like, I don't know why I thought about this. It's hella off topic. Remember that commercial?
The Six Flags one?
No, this is a commercial. Like, it was about drinking milk. And then the kids was like, he's like, I don't want to drink milk. Well, like, and it was the old dude. He's like, he's never drunk milk. Look at him. And then he drank milk. His arms start falling off. Bro, that was a great commercial. See, that's a great commercial. They should bring commercials like that back, man. Like,
I thought you were talking about the Six Flags commercial where like the old ass guy gets off the bus. It's like,
oh my god. Oh, that's hella goofy. That's Pete Carroll for sure. That's Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
Pete
man.
Carroll for sure. That's funny. That's hilarious. Damn, that's hella old school, bro. He brought it back, man. These motherfuckers dying. That is funny. That's funny. Bro, we rolled it, bro.
Man.
All right, let's go to the next what's real, what's not. The last
what's real, what's not. So we talked about at the beginning of the show. We know one of the first things we basically led off with the Jakorian Bennett trade. We traded Jakorian Bennett to the Eagles. We picked up Booker. But the statement is this: both Bennett and Booker will spend at least 2 years with their respective teams. Both Bennett and Booker will spend at least 2 years with their respective teams.
So Bennett is still under his rookie deal. He was drafted in 2023. So he's 2 years into his deal.
That's 2 years left.
So he's on his third year. So this would be his third year of his 4-year deal.
Yeah.
So
he has this season and next season. So 2 years. Yeah, two years.
And Booker, he's on his last year of his deal.
Yep.
Ooh. So he would have to like show out for the Raiders to bring him back.
We have to bring him back.
Oh.
Hey Huey. Look. Yeah, I didn't say it. Huey P said it, not Severe.
You know what? I'm gonna say that he makes it for at least 2 years. Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. He could be part of the mix. That's all you're saying. Is he gonna be on the roster? You didn't say if he's gonna be the starting D tackle, nose tackle, 3 technique, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna say it's real. I'm gonna say it's real. He's just gonna be part of the rotation. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of people say a lot of good things, bro. Like a lot of people say a lot of good things about him. So we'll see. I mean, Mike Jones says no. Okay. Bennett, yes. Booker, no. Okay. I'm gonna say yes for both. What you got, Severe?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Look, I think he's gonna make it out of camp. I think Booker is definitely gonna make it out of camp. You know, if for nothing else than the politics of it all, because it'd be extremely embarrassing if you traded your last year starting corner for a guy that got cut. You know what? How much camp is left? Like, you know, like a week, another week or something like that at camp. So it'd be very embarrassing if that guy didn't make the 53. But I don't know if he finishes the season on this team. And I ain't talking about like no injury situation. I'm just talking about I don't know if he finishes up the season on this team. I think Jakorian Bennett. I think he lasts his rookie year, his rookie contract rather with the Eagles, at least.
Yeah, and they did draft 2 D tackles too. They signed Adam Butler too to a contract, so they're gonna be. So he's gonna.
We moved Hemingway. They got Hemingway listed as DN though, so I don't know. Like I said, they're doing some weird stuff.
Okay. So, but JJ, they have him at D tackle.
Zach Carter is back to D tackle, who they brought back from last year. So.
Okay, and then Jonah Alu's he's the guy. He's the hometown Las Vegas native that's currently listed as a starter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes. So it would be this year, next year. I'll say yes. I'm gonna say yes, but we'll see. I want to see what it looks like because he's gonna have to like obviously get into the mix, get into the playbook. I mean, he plays D line, so they can get. So I feel like those guys can come in and they can contribute right away, but I got to see him like out there to like really judge for myself and see if he's going to be a guy that's going to have a chance to stay on the roster. But like right now, like it's open season. Christian Wilkins was like the guy that was the entrenched starter, no question. Now it's like there's an open position at the other spot. Jonah Alu is a guy that he's the second year in the league. Like he's still trying to fight his way to get some snaps. So it's like, can he win it? Possibly, but for them to make this trade means that they're not too confident. They're like not sure. They need to add maybe another player that fits whatever they want to do on defense. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Martinez, man, we talked about this earlier, bro.
Yeah, sad for my guy, man.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like his injuries, and I was the guy that was like, man, the Raiders possibly should have bring back Nate Hobbs. Just based off our nickel situation, but man,
still nasty. Our nickel situation is still nasty.
Yeah, it's still ugly. But Greedy Vance might be a guy that might right now. Darnay Holmes is listed as a starter.
Yeah, but see, that's from what I've been hearing. Like, and all of this can change. All from what I've been hearing is that basically Jeremy Chin is the nickel. And anytime they go to that formation, it's been Jeremy Chin that's rolling down there. And the person that was taking his spot at safety was Lonnie Johnson. Now, obviously, Lonnie Johnson is no longer here. So now the person who's taking his spot at safety has been primarily Chris Smith. You know, blast from the past. You know, I know a lot of us like the draft pick. You know, we liked what he did at Georgia, even though he wasn't the best athlete. He was a team leader, smart, high IQ guy. So yeah, right. So you know, and then I think they've been sprinkling in some Thomas Harper, in that role as well, kind of seeing what he can do there. But another thing they've been doing which is why we've been seeing Jamal Adams get some reps with the ones, is that they've been putting Jamal Adams at like that nickel spot and keeping Jeremy Chin back at safety. That's something else they've been experimenting with as well. So that's why people are saying like, oh, Jamal Adams is getting some reps with the ones. Like that's essentially what it is. He's like that, playing that nickel role instead of Jeremy Chin.
Got to keep on it. Let's see what happens. I seen this. I got to put it up here. He said Andy Reid is 67, Pete 73. I don't see a major difference. That's a big difference, bro.
That's a big 7 years is big as. That's a huge difference. It's near a decade.
7 years, because Pete's actually going to be turning 74 in September. So yeah, 7 years. Yeah, that's almost 10 years, bro. And especially at that age, going from your 60s to your 70s, your body's getting older. But you know what? You know, I'm not that age, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I can't, I'm just
like
But
just
I can
just
understand.
think about just think about how you felt like well, you know, I mean, how old you guys are, you know, but I'm not 40 yet, but just think about like how you feel from age 33 to age 40. Like, is that not a massive difference in how you feel? Like just that age right there, and you're much younger. Once you get to an advanced age, like your body functions don't get better. Like, you know, it's like they get worse generally.
It's especially too on like how you take care of yourself too. Like if you actually are active, and Pete Carroll, from what it looks like, is obviously taking care of himself based off what people are saying, like the energy and stuff like that. I'm sure he does, but yeah, it's a big difference.
But sometimes that's not always a factor. I mean, somebody kind of brought it up earlier. Look at Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Joe Biden's somebody that clearly took care of himself. I think he was like in the armed services, like, you know, stayed fit, rode bicycles, worked out, did all that stuff. He was a former soldier. Donald Trump's been eating McDonald's and drinking Cokes for like the past 50 years. That dude, you know, he's cognitively, at least, he's way more, you know, sharp than Joe Biden was. So sometimes it's just genetics.
Yeah. Yeah. Smoke says, did I hear Pete Carroll correctly when he said Lonnie Johnson could be back mid-season? Yeah. I think he recently, did he have surgery already? I think he's scheduled to have surgery at the very least. Or if he already had surgery. Yeah, they're saying, Pete Carroll is saying that they're possibly targeting him to come back before the season ends. So like somewhere around there. I mean, that's wild too. You break your fibula, but I guess it depends on like how what is it, like a crack or is it like a complete break? If it's a complete break, man, I'm assuming you done for the rest of the season.
But the thing about it is that bones heal, like depending on where it's at, bones heal fairly quickly. And, you know, it's just a matter, like more than anything, it's just like the ramp up period, getting back in football shape. You know, sometimes I forget what it's called, but when you like can't work out on one side of your body and that side of the body's been like, you know, stagnant or stabilized in one position for a long time, a lot of time you lose like muscle mass and you know, muscle strength in those areas. So you kind of got to work back up to that, but you got to be careful because you don't want to be putting a lot of stress on the other side of your body. So it's like a lot of times it's that ramp up period because the bones heal fast generally.
I heard Pete Carroll likes to run a lot of cover 3. Eagles bringing heat like to play man was and Bennett would be a nice pickup to play man because he has good cover skills. He can play man to man, so I think it's a good fit. Pete Carroll does play a lot of cover 3, and then like Patrick Graham, he kind of like mixes it up. I think he plays a lot of like he mixes it up. He plays like a lot of cover,
but he does everything.
Yeah. Like a lot of cover 2, cover 3. Yeah, he mixes it up.
We play cover 6, so we play a lot of different stuff.
Mm-hmm. Chris Smith and Trey Taylor have been buried on the depth chart.
Yeah.
But Chris Smith, I think, is like that third safety, so I think they're kind of grooming him to be that in that role. Oh, that's Trey Taylor. I said Ed Reed. That's Trey Taylor.
Oh, it's Trey Taylor. Yeah, Trey Taylor. Yeah, Chris Smith.
Trey Taylor's the one that had like the sit down one-on-one interview. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's want to get the facts straight. Pete's in better shape than Reed and Harbaugh. But Harbaugh had a heart condition. Yeah, Harbaugh had like hip replacement, didn't he? This offseason? Yeah, something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's they getting old too as well.
Yeah.
Low key kind of think Thornton's stuff might be smokescreen. Besh is gonna be that dude. Hey, Besh is coming on late. That's the one thing I gotta say. Death Lord 660. Hey, my God. But yeah, no, I agree. Besh right now, like, is since the pads have come on, got the physicality's gone up a little bit. Besh is obviously kind of like been stepping up as of late, but I think we'll see. Yeah. You're saying it's a smoke screen, but like right now it's like an uphill battle for him to get some snaps. Like it's Tucker and Thornton, but you're saying that Besh is gonna overtake Thornton, pretty much.
Nah, I can't see that happening.
Especially because there are different types of roles that they're gonna play.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I think Besh will have a role, especially goal line situations. I think Besh will have a role down there because that's Thornton in closed spaces. Like that's not where he's going to function at his best. I think Besh with his route, he's pretty solid route runner, real physical, and he's a great run blocker. So you can do a variety of things with him down there. That not as many things with Thornton, who's really like more of the deep speed guy, post that kind of deal, as Pharaoh has talked about on several occasions.
Where do you think Scary Terry goes to? I think he stays.
He stays. Yeah, I think going nowhere.
Like, why would you trade away a receiver when you have a young QB, up and coming QB? Why would you take away from a weapon? He's on a rookie deal too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, so pay the man. I don't know
And
what they're
they
being cheap
purged
about
last
it.
year. They purged a whole bunch of salary last year.
Yeah, just pay the man. Just pay him. Make it where, hey, like this contracts, the way these teams make contracts, sometimes they'll pay certain players, but then they'll find a way to get out of them if it doesn't work out. So why don't you make it so? I mean, like, you got a QB on a rookie deal and you don't want to pay, Terry McLaurin. Like, come on, man. I think he stays, though.
Yeah.
Benjamin, I definitely don't like the move. Keep Cooper in the slot, but Bennett on the outside. Okay.
He said he definitely likes the move. Keep Cooper in the slot. Yeah, Cooper is he's a safety / slot. Like that's what a lot of teams like they play.
And then you got Jakorian's gonna start because you got DeJean. No, you got
Keely Ringo.
No. He's not. I think he's gonna overtake him.
Yeah, but he said he's hurt. He said he was hurt or something, right, or something like that.
I don't know if he was hurt, but it like some people are implying that like it might mean something that if Jakorian Bennett, they traded for Jakorian Bennett, that means like Jakorian might be coming for him.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah, coming to take his spot.
Yeah.
As the starter. Yeah, because Quinyon is entrenched. Quinyon is entrenched. He's that guy. He ain't going nowhere.
Let's see. Oh damn. Ringo was he was drafted in 2023 draft, the same draft as Bennett.
Okay, so it was 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah, that's what we said. That's what we said, right? Yeah, that's what we said. Because Kwame Lassiter was last year, so he was a year before last year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jakorian could easily be the starting corner, or he could obviously overtake Kelly Ringo. That's Roseman is cooking.
Yeah, man,
he's cooking. Martinez says, I believe Chip is going to run 13 personnel with Besh as the third tight end. Besh played tight end at LSU.
Yeah. I mean,
Ian Thomas might be I think he's been coming on. I think he spoke to the media today. Did he speak to the media? He's been playing well. He's been making plays during training camp. So that's the guy I think they figured at like that third tight end spot outside of like, I mean, the tight ends are kind of showing up well.
Yeah,
Mayer, Brock Bowers. I've heard Ian Thomas' name a few times. Like,
I heard them using Ian Thomas in the backfield too. I think I just said something about it earlier, but yeah, they've been using Ian Thomas in the backfield as like a fullback in certain situations too.
Okay, finding ways to get him on the field with everybody else. That's clean.
Yeah, I think they're going to run some 13. They're definitely going to run some 13. I think they might do it in the middle of the field too, because they have some.
Yeah, if you got a guy that wants to run the football, he's going to have to find players that can like get open in those formations, and he got them. He has them. The tight
because
ends,
Brock is like he's not your regular tight end. That's like basically having another wide receiver. You can run basically running 13 with us is still like running 12 with a lot of other teams. So
like Chip can get hella creative. Position. Yeah, I know Severe mentioned it. He caught it. He was talking about this earlier, moving him to DN. That's kind of interesting. Maybe they're grooming him to be multiple. Maybe that might not be a permanent situation. Maybe it's part of a development of him being a guy that became effective inside and outside. He's kind of a tweener though. So, I mean, were you surprised by that, Severe?
Yeah, I was surprised by that just because he fits. We talked about it before. He kind of fits perfectly in that height, weight that Pete Carroll likes in his defensive tackles. So.
Bennett starter, Cooper Jean at safety. Yeah, and you have Bennett, and Keon Mitchell, and Bennett's your number 2 corner.
That's nice, bro. You think about it like this, bro. You think about like Bennett's a 4-3 guy. I think Keon Mitchell's a 4-2 guy.
Damn, you think Eagles can win it this year again?
Oh yeah, they can win it again, man.
Damn,
the only thing is like you worry about the offense.
Good, bro.
You worry about the offensive line because they lost Becton, so replacing Becton.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's just like they probably have the most athletic secondary in the league.
It's hard, man. To repeat though. It's hard.
Yeah, Bennett's 4-3. Bennett's 4-3. Quinion's 4-2. I think Keely Ringo is 4-3. Cooper DeJean, I think, is 4-3. Like they got 4-3 guys, legit 4-3 guys in the secondary. Yeah. We got fast secondary too, though. We got fast secondary too.
And the thing is too, it's their defensive coordinator likes to run like a lot of man. It's that was the defense coordinator for the 49ers all them years. I was gonna say Vic Tafer.
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio. Like I remember when my first, because Vic Fangio's been around for a minute. But when I seen him with the Niners, that defense, to me, that was his best. Like that defense was crazy. Like that was a crazy defense, just based off the talent and just the combination of that talent and that scheme. Just think about the players on that defense, man. And I'm not even a Niner fan, but god damn, man, that shit was not. I was jealous, bro. As a Raider fan, I wanted the Raiders to have a defense like that with like talent everywhere like that. Like think about it, they had them linebackers from Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman, Patrick Willis.
Those safeties.
Smith brothers. Yeah, the Smith brothers. Yeah.
Hey, every time I think of man, I'm trying to think.
Aldon
Smith, but I'm trying to think of that. Well, every time I think about him, I just remember when it's sad, man. It was like hella sad. Like one of the last times, like he I guess had a DUI, and then and the media was waiting outside. It was waiting outside for him, and then he was trying to act like they couldn't see him. It was just hella funny, and then he knew that. Then he talked to him real quick, and he just oh yeah, and then they were done talking to him, and then he started walking away. But it was a sad walk. It was he was by himself. It was just bruh, damn, man,
crazy. That's all.
Yeah, that's why I knew he had a problem, bro.
I saw him right before we picked him up. I saw him at LAX, and I was like, "Oh, damn, it's crazy." This is Aldon Smith. It was huge, before we picked him up. That dude, he's a big person. He's a big human being. And I'm pretty tall, and I was like, "Dang, this dude is pretty."
Bro, he was big. He was bigger than Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
he was way bigger than Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
man, and imagine that, man. That's a whole different conversation, man. But hey, man, it's been a great show. We appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, do you hear why Raiders cut with Christian Wilkins? Man, you gotta watch the past shows on that one, man. But he did some weird stuff. Raiders don't agree with his rehab, so they cut him. But just watch some past shows, and we kind of get into that. But yeah, man, Severe, man, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
You guys know what it is, man. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, IG, Snapchat, TikTok, X, Kick, Twitch, True Social, everywhere. The Severe Raider. Holla at your boy, man. Every Tuesday, my guy, PharoahNFL, on the world famous 50/50 show, obviously on Thursdays, Around the Shield, where we bring you some of the best content and all the Raider Nation. And then I'm rocking out with my guys, 805 and Chris, with the Raider War Room. That's on Tuesdays and Sundays. Possibly making a move from that Tuesday. We got some stuff in the work, so we'll let you guys know. But the best way to stay informed is, hit that subscribe button. Right after you do that, hit that notification bell. But before you do either of those, make sure you hit that thumb for both videos.
He's on. You said Alden Smith's on Tumblr. I didn't even know that it's still around. Like I ain't even on that. Yeah, man, that's sad, man. Alden Smith, man, great talent, but crazy, man. But yeah, like Severe said, we'll be back here next week, 50-50 show every Tuesday. But obviously this week we will have Around the Shield, which we have every Thursday. But today is gonna be a special Thursday because it's game day, preseason, Raiders versus Seahawks. We'll go live after the game ends. We'll recap the game and talk about some of the things that we've seen, and obviously we'll have it. Hopefully, we'll have a guest.
Yeah.
We'll try to see if we can get someone to come on and chop it up, and hey man, and enjoy the game, man. So man, hey, it's the Raiders are finally gonna play some football. Recently had a scrimmage. Now this week they have their first preseason game, so it's gonna be fun. If you guys haven't already, make sure to clock in at this point, clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, I try to get to as much comments into the, try to get into all the comments and messages. I try to get all of them. I know I missed some of them, but you guys still can leave a comment after this live ends. You guys watching the replay, definitely to comment if you guys agree, disagree, think something's funny. If something's not funny, just let us know, man. And we'll get back to you. We read the comments, so we appreciate the support. Greg Arnold says, I think Amari Hampton has the best season as a rookie running back. Hey,
I can see that happening. Yeah, it's a great situation.
I didn't see the Hall of Fame game, and I know he played in it. Did you get a chance to see him like run the ball a few snaps? I know that he had like a.
He had one impressive run. He had another run where it's like, it's rookie type situation where he should have just stuck his foot in the ground and tried to run the guy over. He tried to, run to the outside. It's one of those lessons where, this ain't the ACC, bro. you ain't beating these dudes to the corner. Like, right. And like I said, Genty's gonna learn that same lesson too.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, we up out of here, man. What? Any last thoughts before we head out?
Nah, man, hey, we'll see you guys, man. Hopefully we have a productive preseason game. And number one, above all else, is that everybody stays healthy.
Oh, you know what? I mean, we shouldn't do no prediction for a preseason game. It don't really matter.
Yeah, it ain't matter.
We could do like matchups. We could do matchups.
Yeah.
What are we looking forward to see preseason game?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know, because I know they've been putting a lot of extras on Aiden O'Connell recently, but it seems that Cam Miller is a better fit for this offense. And I heard that Aiden O'Connell didn't look horrible in the scrimmage, but like there were times his bad plays were extremely bad. So I'm interested to see what Cam Miller does. Aiden O'Connell's been in NFL games. He's had those bullets flying. He's had success in NFL, won games in NFL. So we kind of know what to expect from him. But I want to see what Cam Miller does. I heard he was scrappy. Arm looked stronger than people expected, and he looked a lot more athletic than people expected too.
Yeah, for me, O-line, D-line. I want to see the running game, and I want to see some of these receivers. I want to see the Jack Bashes. I want to see the Dante Thorntons. Yeah. Preferably, I want to see the starters play, but you can't have it all. I don't think they're going to be in there, if at all. But we'll see if.
I think maybe a series. I'm thinking maybe a series. Depending if they go if they go 3 and out, that'd be terrible. If they go 3 and out, then 2 series. But if they're able to go on an extended little drive, I think they'll stay in for at least 1 series.
All right, man. There you have it, man. We'll be back here this Thursday, man. Make sure to tune in Around the Shield, man. We'll see y'all. See y'all soon, man. Peace.
Just win, baby. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.